Capital Chevrolet, saving you money is a family tradition my grandfather started back in 1935. Our commitment to low prices continues today with Capital Chevrolet's $2,000 low price guarantee. It's simple. We guarantee to beat any dealer's advertised price on a new Chevrolet, or we'll pay you $2,000. That's Capital's low price guarantee. Just doing my part to carry on the family tradition.
Red 21! Red! Prime rib! Seasoned seared! Slow roasted and Outback!
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
I'm open!
Julie, will you take me to Outback for their new Hearts of Gold Bronze filet with sauteed artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and a light lemon Alfredo sauce?
Yes, I will.
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
My mother has a red car, too.
You're kidding me.
No. She doesn't have red hair like you, though.
My mom does.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thanks.
Okay.
My TV went out! My TV went out!
What can the middle of nowhere teach us about financial advisors?
Let's strip it down!
With the right guide, you can find rewards in any environment. Wachovia Securities. Talk to us. Together we can achieve uncommon results.
And we welcome you back to live coverage of Westlake High School football on CHAP's TV, the Big 1530 ESPN radio, and of course online at chapsportslive.com. The chance of Westlake in a red-clad audience that have braved I-35 and traveled south to the Alamo City. Good afternoon. As we kick it off at high noon, Westlake and the San Antonio Reagan Rattlers, their first time ever in the 5A playoffs. Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson, Rob Durkee down on the sideline. And Perry, this is going to be a promising football game.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you look at what these teams have done, they've both been able to score lots of points. Westlake last week, 45 points against Los Fresnos, and a huge game for the Reagan Rattlers against Laredo United, scoring 72, but they gave up 48, so you got to wonder about the defense there.
Again, Westlake will dress in their red uniforms, the red jersey tops with the white numerals and letters, the letter CHAPS across, or the word CHAPS across the front, the silver helmets with the Westlake W on the side, and the Reagan Rattlers in their all white uniforms. Again, the white jersey tops with the green numerals and the word Rattlers etched in green and trimmed in black. The black helmets with the Rattler on the side. They will kick it off as Westlake has won the toss and they will receive. Kicking off is Patrick Sullivan. For the Reagan Rattlers, they will kick it off from right to left as we begin this afternoon's Region 4 championship game. And it's a line drive, and it will be fielded by Brad Ballou here on the near side. Across the 15 to the 20, out to the 25. Good running room, but then gang tackled just shy of the 38-yard line at the 28. And with that, we meet the Reagan Rattler defense. For that, Perry Watson.
Thanks, Joe, and they've got an experienced defense up front. They've got one junior. He is Josh Dam. He's next to Garrett Brown, the senior. The ends are Adam Arthur and Hank Hornsby. The linebackers, Ben Stonestreet, Donald Harvey, and Dexter Oney. And I'll give you the rest after this play.
Westlake, again, under center is senior quarterback Nick Foles. Backs offset in the eye. As we get a pigskin off the football field, the referee tosses it. Under center is Nick Foles as they move left to right here in the first half. A wide receiver each way, and the first play from scrimmage is a run play to Max Minor. He's across the 30 to the 31-yard line, wrapped up by a trio of tacklers. Excellent job up front by the defense by Ben Stonestreet.
Yeah, Stonestreet, the linebacker, the primary tackler. Here's the rest of the defense for the Reagan Rattlers. The left corner is Joe Warren. He's a senior. The strong safety, Patrick Sullivan, a senior. The free safety is Joe Stein. He's a senior. And the right corner is Grant Edlund. He as well is a senior.
the Westlake offense in just a moment. It'll be 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain by Max Miner. Out of the shotgun now. Miner will move from the right side of Foles in motion. Now rolling here to the near side, looking, shedding a tackler as Nick Foles fires across the middle, has a man, and that pass is caught. Inside Rattler territory is Steven Schaefer. Check that. Andy Spears comes across the middle. And a nice pickup right there by Andy Spears as he picks up the first down. A 20-yard pass and catch from Nick Foles to Andy Spears. First down, no score as we are just underway.
And a good play by Nick Foles to avoid the rush.
Breaking huddle are the Chaparrals. Now Nick Foles under center, backs off set in the backfield. A receiver each way, a tight end here to the near side, and it's Schaefer. And the handoff on a counter gap play goes to Bron Hager. Hager across the 40 in a huge gain. Stone Street again with the stop inside the 40 down to the 38. The Westlake offense, the offensive line. The tackles are Ross Cooper and Dusty Davidson. Nick DeAngelis and Patrick Jupy are the guards. Andy Theodosis is the center. The tight end, Steven Schaefer, 231-pound senior, 36 catches for 639 yards, 7 touchdowns. And against Los Fresnos, 5 catches for 47 yards and 2 touchdowns. Andy Spears is the split end. The flanker is Brad Ballou. Will get you the backfield after this play. First down and 10 from the 38-yard line. No score underway here from the Alamo Dome. The handoff goes to Max Miner, running left, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard. And Bron Hager is the man behind Nick Foles, the 202-pound senior, has 119 carries on the season for 853 yards. The leading rusher for the Chaparrals with an unprecedented 17 touchdowns from the fullback spot. He's also caught a pair of touchdowns as well. Max Miner, the 167-pound senior, with 146 carries, 736 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground, 3 touchdowns through the air, 20 catches out of the backfield for 292 yards. We'll get you Nick Foles' stats here in just a moment after this 2nd down and 11 play after a 1-yard loss. Foles out of the gun, and the ball comes loose. Diving for it in midfield as Nick Foles had the ball stripped as he cocked his right arm, and it looks like he did recover, so everything's okay, but it'll be a huge loss all the way back to about the 48-yard line. So a 20-yard difference here from the 38 to the 48, or excuse me, a 10-yard difference from the 38 to the 48 here in Rattler territory, and a huge 3rd down coming for the Westlake offense. Again, Nick Foles, the 6'5", 235-pound senior, 133 of 197 for 2,500 yards, 25 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. And he will have a tough order here as he scrimmages 3rd down and 18 from the 48-yard line. 5-step drop, plenty of time now, trying to shake a tackler, pitches it, and it's caught by Steven Schaefer, who shakes a tackle. He cuts it back to the 35-yard line, and an excellent effort right there, but a very dangerous play, and a flag comes in at the end of the contest.
Yeah, the tackle made by Josh Dam, and Schaefer did a good job of catching a pass. It was really just a shuffle pass from Nick Foles, and then he broke away from the initial tackler, moved the ball inside the 35, and here's the official, referee Joe Sedita with a call. We'll find out what that flag's all about. Face mask.
It's going to be a face mask, and it will be against. It's a 5-yard variety, an incidental face mask on the Rattlers. And they will get that from the end of the catch by Steven Schaefer, his first catch of the afternoon. And that one went 7 yards. And again, the flag is going to tack 5 on. So Westlake will get an opportunity here. And what a break they catch. After 3rd down and 18, Nick Foles was all but sacked. An errant, or very unsafe, if you will, decision on Nick Foles' part, but Steven Schaefer was able to pick his quarterback up. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 just inside the 30-yard line in Rattler territory. Under center is Nick Foles. Etier is in motion. The toss goes to Bron Hager. Sheds a tackler, dives forward, and he has plenty of room out to the near sideline. And he advances the ball inside the 30 down to the 27, and that is enough for a 1st down to move the chains for Westlake.
Yeah, they just run a toss sweep to the right side, and it looked like Max Miner was out in front, and you could tell that Bron Hager knew he didn't need much, and he didn't get much, but he got enough for the first.
Well, now they're actually going to call timeout here, and the officials are going to call timeout. There's some confusion as far as the down marker is concerned. Now, they had 4th down put up, and now they're moving the chains and getting in position. So the chain gang a little late in the game. Early on here in the 1st quarter, no score as Westlake and San Antonio Reagan are just underway. Backs split in the backfield. Etier again in motion from the far side left here to the near side right. 1st down and 10, no score. The handoff goes to Max Miner, who has some room on the left side. get along the left hash mark. He falls down at the 20-yard line. A nice pickup right there by Max Miner. And they're really using the Thunder and the Lightning in the backfield early on in this drive.
Yeah, Thunder provided the block, that being Braun Hager. He had a kick-out block on the left side, and Max Miner cut it inside, got good yardage, got about 8 yards on first down.
It'll be second down and a long 2 after that 8-yard run by Max Miner. Andy Spears and Brad Ballou will check out. Etier and Mike Walker will check on to the sidelines. As we join you live in Austin on the Big 1530 ESPN Radio and inside the Alamo Dome at 107.9 FM. Foles will be under center. Backs split in the backfield. Schaefer is split wide to the left, and already Nick Foles doesn't like the read, so a wise decision by the senior quarterback. He takes the timeout. We'll go ahead and take it with him as we pause here in the first quarter. No score. First drive of the ball game here from the Alamo Dome. 7:58 remaining, and Westlake takes a timeout. Back in a moment. This is Westlake football.
It has come to this. 4th and goal at the 3. A stop here, and this game is over. Double wide receivers to the right. It's a reverse play. He's at the 5. He's hit at the 1. He did not get in. What a huge play. That might be the tackle of the year.
Wow, he hit the proverbial stone wall. It was like he was trying to reach for those tasty St. Louis ribs at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, and he was stopped cold.
In the Austin area Sunday evening at 7 p.m.
2 wide receivers here to the near side right as we're out of the timeout. It's second down and a short 2 for Westlake. Foles under center, back split in the backfield. Back to pass and firing to the near side end zone and going up for it is Andy Spears. He comes down with it and it's a touchdown for Westlake. Andy Spears from 20 yards out. And Westlake draws first blood in the Region 4 championship.
And that's a case where Andy Spears had his eye on the ball. He knew where the ball was. The defender, who was Grant Edlund, who's the right corner, did not. Andy Spears saw it all the way. Edlund had position, but he didn't know where the ball was, didn't turn around. Spears actually turned and caught the ball with his hands as he was twisting into the end zone for the touchdown.
Etier on to hold for Justin Tucker for the extra point. The snap is back, it's down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So just like that, Westlake jumps on the board. With 7:53 remaining here in the opening quarter, Westlake takes the game's opening drive downfield and scores on a 20-yard touchdown pass from Nick Foles to Andy Spears. It's Westlake 7, Reagan nothing. The Region 4 championship continues in a moment. This is Westlake football.
You know, Jenny, I've been thinking. Some things, after you've had them for a while, they just start to get old.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe we should experiment a little. Well, in that case, I'm gonna start drinking healthier. Oh, sorry, Ginny. Do you want some? Ginny? Ginny? Drink healthy. It's better than having a girlfriend.
Receiving the kickoff, number 8, Grant Edlund, and number 21, Marcus Wright.
We welcome you back live to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Westlake jumping up on top early on their first drive of the ball game. Here in the first quarter, they lead San Antonio Reagan 7-0. Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson. Rob Durkee to join us in just a moment after the kickoff here. The ensuing kickoff handled by Justin Tucker. The first time of the afternoon, and he will drive Marcus Wright 5 yards deep into the end zone, and he will take a knee. Let's go down to the sidelines to Rob Durkee. Get Rob's performance this afternoon, brought to you by Straight Music Company. Rob, amazing concentration by number 15.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. You know, he looked right after the ball was snapped. He looked down the corner, then he just kept on looking for the ball, and there was a little bit of action between those two players, and, you know, he pushed away from him and he caught the ball, and it was a great catch by Andy Spears.
9 plays, 71-yard drive, took 4 minutes and 2 seconds off the first quarter clock. Get capped by that 20-yard touchdown catch by Andy Spears. It's 7-0 Westlake, and now we meet the Reagan Rattler offense, or should I say, Marcus Wright. And we will get you those starters here in just a moment here. 5 men on the line, and they try to switch things up. The quarterback is Derek Walls, and Walls again out past the 20 to the 22-yard line, and a 2-yard gain on first down. And for the Rattler offense, here's Perry Watson.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of seniors as well. The center is Pat Martinez. The guards are Pat Holloway and Taylor Cotton. The tackles are Wes Alvey and Tim Kudla, and the tight end is Steve Wallace. One of the receivers is Mitch Rocheleau, and the other is Matt Smith, and I'll give you the rest of the backfield after this.
Shotgun set again for Derek Walls, the young sophomore operating this offense, and he'll give it to the offense. Marcus Wright, and his first carry goes backwards. Negative yards for the man that had 353 yards on the ground and 8 touchdowns last week against Laredo United.
Yeah, Thomas Johnson and Cameron Nichols on the stop. In the backfield for the Rattlers, the quarterback is the sophomore Derek Walls, and the running back, Marcus Wright. You heard Joe talk about him. You'll hear a lot about him. 2,400 yards this year, 32 touchdowns, 8 in last week's game. And the other receiver is Travis Tatch.
Again, when you think about it, 17 touchdowns in 3 ball games. Incredible effort by the junior tailback for the Reagan Rattlers. The Westlake defense in a moment. We may not have time. It's 3rd down and a long 8. Rolling the pocket out of the gun is Walls, looking downfield, fires downfield, jump, and making the catch for the first down just inside the 38-yard line is Tatch. And an excellent job right there by the 6'3", 165-pound senior. He leads all receivers with that, his 32nd catch. He had 576 yards receiving coming into the ball game, and he has 3 touchdowns. They don't pass a lot, but Tash has been there on 3rd down. First down and 10 for the Rattlers. Here's the Westlake defense. The outside linebackers are Riley Orloff and Logan Harkness. The tackles are David Dyer and Mark Daniel. The nose tackle is Chris Agnes, the Thomas Johnston and Blake Reed. Inside linebackers in this 4-3 defense, or excuse me, 3-4 defense, will get you the defensive backfield after this first down play. They fake it to right, roll it to the left, and now Walls is under center and under pressure and absolutely gang tackled well inside the 35-yard line, all the way back to the 32. A huge loss on that play. Again, William Sayers, Justin Tucker, Brad Ballou, and Aaron Pettis round out the secondary. Again, Sayers at the left corner, Pettis at the right corner. We'll also see Ryan Ambrose and Ryan Swope. Again, it is a rotating defense here, and fresh legs really helping on that play, but a huge loss of 6 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 16 from the Rattler 32-yard line. Shotgun set, and they stack 3 receivers on the right side and hand it off to Wright. Wright bursting with speed across the 35-yard line out to the 40. A nice pickup right there, and he makes up some yardage, but the ball will be marked down at the 40-yard line, so he still has quite a ways to go on 3rd down.
Yeah, William Sayers, I think, was the guy who caught him, and you can see Wright's speed. He doesn't take long to get to that speed gear, and he was about to hit another one before William Sayers pulled him down.
So it will be 3rd down and a long 7 from the 40-yard line in Rattler territory. 2 wide receivers here to the near side right, 1 to the far side right. And the option pitch goes to Wright. Across the 40, he has some room. First down yardage of Morris. He crosses midfield at the 40. And he is finally brought down by Brad Ballou. Step for step with him, coming from across the field from his strong safety position. Excellent speed right there by Brad Ballou just to bring down Marcus Wright, who has the ball now inside the 40-yard line in Chaparral territory down to the 36.
Yeah, the quarterback, Derek Walls, came along the left side of the offensive line, and it was just an option play, and he knew who his man was. Wright was the only guy there. He turned the corner, moved upfield, and got the ball just outside the 35, where another number 21, Brad Ballou, brought him down.
A 19-yard pickup. They run it again. The shotgun set with Wright flanking Walls on his left. As they move right to left, the zone read, and the handoff goes to Wright, bouncing off tacklers. Now runs into his own man at the 32-yard line before he shoots forward to the 30. He went a long way to do it to pick up 7, but Wright again, after 19 yards and a first down, has the ball now inside the 31-yard line down to the 30. It'll be 2nd down and a long 4. And Perry, when you look at Marcus Wright, he's not very big, but he, like you said, it does not take long for him to get to that lower gear.
No, and he's like a dragonfly the way he changes direction. He goes one way, he goes back the other way, and he goes back the original direction. So they got to be ready for him to change direction.
So 2nd down and a long 3, as the scoreboard says. Now flanking Walls is Wright on his right. Now a pass a 7-yard slant route run by Tash. The pass was a little bit behind him, and he could not come down with the football. Incomplete pass right at the 20-yard line. It would have been first down yardage and more. On the coverage was Ryan Swope along with Ryan Ambrose. And they'll do it all over again. 7-0 our score here with 4:14 remaining in the opening quarter from the Alamo Dome. Westlake on top of Reagan here in the Division I 5A Region 4 Championship.
And on that play, Joe, Tash was open. There was no one within 5 yards of him, but that pass was just behind him.
They add the fullback in this situation, which is Ben Bowen. He'll be on Walls' left, Wright on the left. Now the handoff goes to Wright. He has crossed the 30-yard line. A huge block thrown across the 20. Flags come in, and Wright is still on his feet down the right sideline and into the end zone.
Got a touchdown possibly, but there's a flag down at about the 27-yard line, and the officials are talking. This one may come back. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, and the referee called it from the backside, and Wright had this happen to him twice last week, which means he should have had 10 touchdown runs against Laredo United, but holding no doubt the call. And we will go to our referees, and while we have an opportunity, go ahead and introduce them, Perry Watson.
Yes, they are. The referee is Joseph Sedita. The umpire is Jack Benton. The head linesman is Aubrey Knox. The line judge is Richard Sedita, and the back judge is Fred Lemire.
Again, that brought to you by Texas Honey Ham Company. Call them today, 330-9888. That's 330-9888. Holiday season is here, and the only place to go for your eats and treats, the Texas Honey Ham Company. Around the corner at Bee Caves in Walls Charlton. And no doubt, as we go to our referee, it is holding on Reagan. It'll back him up 10 yards, so negate the touchdown there. Impressive as it was. Wright will have to do it all over again. Again, still 7-0 here in the first quarter, 4:04 remaining.
Well, I'll tell you what, this guy is obviously elusive, but he's also quick in his elusiveness. So, you know, it's one of those kinds of guys that you don't get straight shots at him, and one guy typically won't bring Wright down. They're going to have to send a couple of guys after him, and they're going to have to be sure-handed tacklers at that.
So what was 3rd down and a short 2 will now be 3rd down and 11. The ball marked inside the 40-yard line, and now coaching staff and other personnel are on the field, and it is quite loud, especially on the Reagan side. And they are across on the visiting side here in the Alamo Dome, and David Wetzel pleading for a timeout, and he got it. We'll go ahead and keep it here as both teams have used their first timeout here in the first quarter. And Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson, Rob Durkee down to the sideline. So far, so good, but Marcus Wright is already starting to get his momentum out of the backfield.
Well, you can see how this guy, who's not a big guy in terms of height, he's 5'7", 175, that's how he's listed, but he's rushed for 2,400 yards and 32 touchdowns, and you can see how he got them because he doesn't need much space, and he makes a lot of his own space with his moves. So he's one of those, you know, we've seen a lot of jitterbug scat backs in the last few weeks in the playoffs. This guy, it may be the best of the group.
He may indeed. You talk about those water bug running backs, the scat backs, and when you think about week 1 in the playoffs, the bi-district round at the Bobcat Stadium with Ruben Resendez for San Antonio Churchill, a perfect complement to the big quarterback, Nick Vanuzzi. Again, Westlake able to weather a couple of bad calls and the storm that was the Churchill offense. They go to the next contest right here in the Alamo Dome in the area round with Myron Brew. They get a week off last week with a predominant passing game with Los Prestos, but right now they really have to shore up that defensive line and try to get pressure out of the gun. He gets an excellent start from the handoff, and Walls and Wright really working well as a tandem in the backfield to secure that initial handoff. Now going in motion is Mitch Rochellio. And on 3rd down and 11, they roll the pocket to the near side. Looking, still looking, and he is still chasing around. Walls creating time, now scampering to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. He is hit right at the marker, just inside the 25-yard line, and it may be enough for a first down.
I'll tell you, Walls showed some elusiveness on that play. He was rolling to his left, obviously wanted to throw out of the shotgun, found nothing, went back to his right. There were a couple of would-be tacklers in the backfield from Westlake who tried to get him. He avoided them, kept rolling to his right, and then tucked it and ran upfield, and he got close enough for a measurement, and that's what the officials are calling for right now.
Right now, it's standing as a 10-yard run because it looks like they may be inches shy of the marker. Now, he went to the near side and backed up to about the 42-yard line in Westlake territory, then cut back. He picked up a nice block by one of his receivers downfield. Nobody quitting on that play on either side of the ball. And then finally, he did. As the chain gang tells us, the inch mark is proven to be eclipsed. All you need is the nose of the football, and that's basically what the Reagan Rattlers got on an impressive 11-yard run now officially by Derek Walls. And he picks up the first down when nobody was covered, and that's one of the options. You hear all about Marcus Wright, Perry, but you don't get the opportunity to see just how good Walls can be with the football in his hands when he uses his legs.
Well, and on that play, the defensive backs are so intent on covering their guys, thinking the pass is coming, they don't move up, so he took advantage of it, Derek Walls.
Again, it's Bowen and Wright flanking Walls in the shotgun. Rogelio again goes in motion. The handoff to Wright. Wright gets some room, bounces off a tackle at the 20 to the 15, and he's tripped up inside the 15-yard line, and he'll be dropped just inside the 10, right around the 9.5-yard line on the right side, and he just missed it. A shoestring tackle saves Wright from his first touchdown of the ball game.
And the hands of Brad Ballou were on those shoestrings, and that's what kept Marcus Wright from getting into the end zone, because Ballou was the last guy to get there, and he actually got a hand on him at about the 15, and he still fell forward down to around the 10.
He bounced off Riley Orloff, and he could not wrap him up. Again, he is a pinball, is Marcus Wright, an impressive tailback, the young junior for Reagan. The handoff again goes to Wright on the zone read. This time stood up, but bounces off another tackler, and actually the handoff is actually faked, and my apologies, that is Derek Walls. Walls beautifully faking the zone read, and Walls goes into the end zone for the touchdown from 9 yards out.
Well, he faked it to Wright, and you've got to bite when Wright is even attempted to be given the ball, because he's going to get it more often than not. And what the quarterback, Derek Walls, decided was to keep it from Wright. Wright went down, but Walls kept moving the ball down the field and actually was able to fall just over the goal line for the touchdown.
That's my fault, because Marcus Wright went into the line and did a spin move as he bounced off a couple of guards and tackles up front. And it really sold it. That spin move really sold it. You heard it up here in the broadcast booth. I couldn't find out who had the ball, but an excellent job on the zone read fake by Derek Walls. He was able to really camouflage that handoff to Wright and then march it in from 9 yards out, and the Reagan touchdown. And it will be Grant Edlund out of the hold of Tash for the extra point. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 2:58 remaining here in the opening quarter, we're all tied at 7. Westlake 7, Reagan 7. The Division I 5A Region 4 championship from the Alamo Dome continues in a moment. This is Westlake football.
80-yard scoring drive by the Reagan Rattlers, which took 4 minutes and 55 seconds to accomplish.
Gets to the 5. Young. Touchdown, Texas. Touchdown, Vince Young.
Bevo D. It's your ticket to Longhorn heaven.
The Texas Longhorns are college football's national champions.
With your subscription to Bevo D, you can watch last year's championship game and exclusive interviews and matchups from this year's title defense. Just tune to channel 1122 and follow the on-screen instructions to get your ticket punched for Bevo D.
Back to live coverage of Westlake football here in the 5A Division I Region 4 Championship. 11-play, 80-yard drive, took 5 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock. Getting capped by a 10-yard touchdown run by Derek Walls. We're all tied at 7 as Edlund is on for the ensuing kickoff. Again, here in the first quarter, he will kick off right to left, and he pooches this one high, and it's a fair catch called for at the 30-yard line. And it looks like it was Joey Feste that came up and made the fair catch. So the Chaps, decent field possession, 70 yards away from pay dirt as they try to answer the Derek Walls touchdown.
Yeah, and on that, just on that kickoff, a good play by Feste to call for the fair catch, because a lot of guys coming down, you never know if the ball could get dislodged. Now, on those 2 drives, Joe, both teams overcame penalties to get the ball into the end zone. Here's Westlake's second possession of the first quarter.
They're actually going to mark him down at the 31-yard line, so technically 69 yards away from the end zone. Under center is Nick Foles, and already we have a penalty, and it looks like on the shift, Patrick Jupy Again, that defensive line mentality. He takes over for the right guard, Torrey Dawson. Again, the senior 270-pound right guard tore his ACL and his meniscus last week in the win over Los Fresnos. Jupy moves from the D-line to the O-line, and on the defensive shift, he forgot where he was.
Yeah, you're right, and it is a shift in terms of moving from defense to offense, because you've got to be the aggressive clock has to tick a little bit faster and a little sooner on the switch there from defense. Now on offense, you got to be a little more patient, because you got to wait for the play to start in terms of what the quarterback is calling.
It'll be first down and 15. Now the ball resting at the 26-yard line in Chaparral territory. Motion man is Etier. He'll move from the far side left to the near side right. Back to pass on the three-step drop is Nick Foles. Now running to his right, looking downfield, still looking, and he just does not have enough room. He'll take off and gain about 5 yards, and now he is hit out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and this will be a late hit. And no doubt the man charged with it up front for the Rattler defense. It looked like coming over and making that hit was Hank Hornsby, the defensive end, and he hit the big quarterback after he was a foot out of bounds.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He was obviously on his way out of bounds, and Hornsby kept coming, and they've also got an injured player. It looked like Aaron Bueno, number 42, was shaken up, and he's walking off the field now with a little bit of a limp, but the big play on that was the penalty.
Again, it'll be Joseph Sedita here, our referee, to tell us about that late hit out of bounds. That appears to be the call, and it will be a personal foul, a late hit against the Reagan Rattlers, and that will give the Westlake Chaparrals great field position after unbelievable coverage downfield by the Rattlers secondary. Nick Foles finally decided to run the ball and advance it forward. He was able to get to the 35-yard line, so tack on 15 after that, and now Westlake dangerous at midfield and first down.
Yeah, and when a guy is chasing the quarterback and he hasn't been able to hit him, sometimes they'll hit him anyway. In that case, he was out of bounds.
3 wide receivers here to the near side right. 1 wide receiver, that's Schaefer to the left. The handoff goes to Bron Hager. Bounces off a tackle. A flag has been thrown. Hager is corralled at the 45-yard line. He was never brought down, but they give him forward progress inside Rattler territory down to about the 46.
And where that flag was thrown, you pretty much get the impression it was a hold, and we'll find out from the referee, Joseph Sedita, as he's talking it over with some of the other officials, but probably a hold. I doubt that this would go against the defense just because of where the flag was thrown.
Got holding on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot.
It is holding, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. So now Westlake started at their own 31, went back to their own 26, then went to their own 35-yard line, and after the personal foul, got the 50-yard line. Now they back it up 10 yards on the penalty to the 40. So pick your field position, Perry.
Yeah, well, right now they're 60 yards away from the end zone. They'd like to go forward and not backwards.
So it's first down and 20. Shotgun set for Foles. 3 wide receivers to the far side left. Again, Schaefer here in the slot right. And they're going Schaefer's way on the mismatch. He has it, and it is caught at the 30. Still on his feet, and he is brought down inside the 20-yard line. But again, the sideline judge throws a flag at the 30-yard line. Right now, it's a first down catch, and into the red zone the Chaparrals go, but hold everything.
Yeah, and it was Joe Warren on the coverage, and that flag is at the 30, and that's about where Schaefer made the catch. So we'll see if it's offensive or defensive pass interference.
It is offensive pass interference, and that is against the Chaparrals. So negate that play, cross it off, and that could have gone either way, Perry. There was a lot of contact, and I think Schaefer being the bigger target. I mean, he's 6'3", 235, and he's running downfield, and the man covering is only 5'8", 150.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and where the official was, he's on the outside, which is where Schaefer was, and Schaefer's big body may have shielded him from what may have gone on prior to what he actually called the penalty on. So any way you slice it, the Chaparrals are back now to the 25-yard line, and they got a ton of yards to make up, but they got to do it without the penalties.
Well, now you look at the 3rd penalty on the Chaparrals this drive. You have the offensive pass interference, and you have the holding call that backed it up inside Chaparral territory to the 40, and now you have a 15-yard penalty for the offensive pass interference. Now it's first down and 25. Or excuse me, the scoreboard is wrong. First down and 35, and this direct handoff out of the shotgun. It's Bron Hager up the middle, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, shakes a tackler to the 30, and finally brought down by a slew of Rattlers to the 25-yard line. You need a first down, find number 5.
So you said it's 1st and 35. What do? Derek Long, you go into your playbook and you pull out number 5 and say, run it up the gut, young man. And that's what Bron Hager did. We got more laundry on the field. Probably at the end of this play, you may have had some roughness or a face mask. We'll see what that is. Heck of a play by Bron Hager. Got a block by Max Minor downfield, but the rest of it was number 5.
A 50-yard run on the direct snack to Bron Hager. Wow, what a call right there. Right up the gut. Nobody saw it. And now it looks like Aaron Bueno's back on the field. He's clapping his hands. Everybody trying to get a beat on what the discussion is all about. Again, this drive for Westlake just riddled with penalties on both sides of the football. But that flag came in well after the run. And
Joseph Sedita's the referee's about to tell us what it is. He'll clear it up.
We got a personal foul after the play, dead ball foul. It'll still be a first down, 10 yards from the spot, 1st and 10.
Okay, so it'll be 1st down and 10 Westlake, and you can tell that he was about as confused as everybody else.
Yeah, and Derek
he
Long,
never saw it. And
Derek Long's looking for an explanation now from the referee. They're consulting, and Joseph Sedita's trying to explain to Derek Long what the call was. The good news is it's a 1st down for the Westlake Chaparrals. The bad news is they're 10 yards farther up the field than they would have been had that penalty not been called.
And Westlake has operated on 1st down the entire drive. Again, it's been 1st down and 10, 1st down and 15, 1st down and 25, 1st down and 35. But again, they have not been able to get a play off without a penalty. That run is good for 50 yards, but the penalty backs it up to the 15 yards to the 40. So he gets the 25, he gets the 50 yards on the carry, but again, the penalty backs the ball up to the 40. So 1st down and 10 for Westlake at the Rattler 40-yard line, and if you're not caught up, you are now. All tied at 7 here as the clock stands at 1:47 and running here in the 1st quarter. Nick Foles out of the gun. Looking, still looking, fires to the near side, and it's caught by Bron Hager at the 30, to the 25, 20, 15, and dragging out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And it looked like Sullivan coming over and hog-tying Bron Hager. An excellent catch out of the backfield for Bron Hager, and that's good for another Westlake 1st down inside the 14.
And you could tell on that play that Bron Hager was not the first choice for Nick Foles. He looked downfield, couldn't find anybody, and he had a check down in number 5 over on the right flat. And he caught it and moved downfield, and that's where Sullivan pulled him out of bounds. But it's 1st and 10 now at the 14 for Westlake.
A 26-yard pickup there. 1st down and 10. We're all tied at 7, but Westlake driving with 90 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Minor will go out of the backfield in motion. Now 3 wide receivers here to the near side right, and they hand it off to Minor out of the slot. And they bring him down immediately. In fact, a loss of 2 on the play. That'll bring the ball back to the 15-yard line. And beautiful job up front, and it looked like Dexter Oney on that weak side coming up and making the initial hit.
It was indeed number 30, Dexter Oney, and that play was designed well, but Oney got inside the block and was able to catch Max Minor before he could turn the corner and move upfield. So a good play by number 30.
Bron Hager limping a little bit back to the huddle, and it looked like he might have got caught a little bit wrong in the blocking scheme there as he was trying to run his route out of the backfield here to the near side. It will be 2nd down. A loss of officially 1 on the play. So 2nd down and 11, the ball marked at the 15-yard line. Shotgun set for the Chaparrals. Steven Schaefer split out wide to the left. 2 wide receivers to the near side right now. Minor in motion out of the backfield. They go Schaefer's way, and he reaches up and makes the catch. Another flag comes down.
And I'll tell you, I know what the flag's going to be. He's going to call offensive interference, and I'll tell you this. You can tell there's contact, and the officials aren't allowing any contact, and there was hardly any contact between the two, but that's what he's calling, I'm guaranteeing you, because you could see that when Schaefer broke away from him, he saw the contact, and he's thinking that's how he got separation.
Right now, Steven Schaefer is about as frustrated as anybody can be. It's not his fault. It's 6'3" on 5'8". Any kind of contact looks like Steven Schaefer's pushing him away.
Yeah.
And as we can see here on our replay on the big scoreboard, all he did was really shake Warren and go up. And it was unbelievable, the calls there. And at some point, Perry, you just have to say, well, are they going to let these guys play or not?
And that's the key. They're not letting them play because there was very little. There was minimal contact on that play. And why you throw a flag, I don't know, because that kind of thing happens almost all the time on pass plays.
So now with that, it's a 15-yard penalty. It backs it up to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 26. Rolling and now firing back to the near side. The pass is caught by Bron Hager, but an excellent play by Ben Stonestreet, knocking down Hager just outside the 30 at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, the senior linebacker Stonestreet read the play, and there were blockers in front of Hager, but what he did was he attacked from the backside, and the blockers didn't see him, and Hager was just about to get going when Stonestreet cut him down.
So Mike Walker will check into the ball game. Andy Spears checks out. It's 3rd down and 26. The ball marked at the 31-yard line, so no gain on the play. And Westlake, in a penalty-laden drive, still has the football. 19 seconds remaining and the clock running here in the first quarter. We're all tied at 7 from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Just an unreal drive. Lots of penalties as they will line up in the shotgun formation. Now Minor going in motion out of the backfield to the far side left. And they roll the pocket that way on the snap. Foles still looking, picks up a block, fires downfield, and he has a man. It's underthrown, and Max Minor is unable to come up with it. Minor had a step. He was all alone in the end zone right around the goal line, and that pass was underthrown by Nick Foles. There was a defender in the area. Joe Stein was right there, but he had about 2 or 3 yards separation from Minor, and if that pass is on the money from Foles, it's a touchdown for Westlake.
Well, you're right, and Max Minor fell. The turf got him at about the 5-yard line, and that's where he went down and was unable to get back to the ball. But on the backside of that play, it looked like Westlake might have been able to throw something deep, and that's something they'll have to look at later.
Indeed. With that, the first quarter comes to an end, and we're seeing yellow from the Alamo Dome. Lots of flags, and Westlake's 4th down play. Will they go for it, or will they kick the field goal? That coming up in 60 seconds. Your first quarter score, Westlake 7, Reagan 7. Back in a moment. This is Westlake football.
Amy Simmons' life is hectic, and when she isn't running an ice cream empire, she's busy running after her 2-year-old.
I'm in favor of anything that makes my life easier.
That's why Amy bundles her digital cable, Roadrunner, and digital phone service through Time Warner Cable. She has access to over 300 channels, super fast high-speed internet, and unlimited local and long-distance calling.
One call for 3 great services, and it's all on one bill. That's what I call a sweet deal.
Time Warner Cable. That's the power of you.
Field goal, I think, is no good, short.
Watching a thinly marred first quarter. Again, both teams tied at 7. A touchdown apiece for both ball clubs as Derek Walls will come out and lead his offense as they move left to right here in the second quarter. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the Rattler 30-yard line. Going in motion out of his tight end position is Wallace. Shifts sides from the near side to the far side. Handoff will go to right across the 30, brought down, and a host of tacklers on the move there, but it looked like Blake Reed was the first man on the scene. He'll spurt forward for a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Blake Reed was the first man on the scene, but he was not able to get him down. It was Mark Daniel, along with some help, actually getting him down. He picked up a couple on that play, maybe about 3. It looks like 2nd and 7.
So the Rattlers again will break huddle. Blake Reed coming in to the near sideline with the play. And the Rattlers wasting no time trying to catch the Chaparrals off guard. Out of the gun, a familiar formation here for Reagan. 2 wide receivers here to the near side right. Now Rochelo going in motion, but he'll stay put in the slot right. They look right, and the pass is juggled and tipped. It looked like William Sayers tipped the ball. The pass was intended here on the near sideline, and he was wide open, was the intended receiver.
Matt Smith.
Yeah, it's Matt Smith really coming in strong. And Ambrose almost, or excuse me, I should say Sayers almost had an opportunity to pick that ball off, and if he did, it was pick 6. But Matt Smith had the extra opportunity to catch the football, and he could not do it. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, William Sayers had touchdown on his mind, not Georgia, touchdown on his mind, and would have gone the distance easily if he could have come up with that one.
So now already a big 3rd down play here for the Reagan Rattlers. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The ball at the Rattler 33-yard line. They need the 40. Rochelo going in motion from the far side to the near side. Awaiting the snap. Hard count, and now they go that way. And they fake the flanker screen and hand it off to Wright. And Wright goes down right at the line of scrimmage. Excellent defensive job in holding right there on the play. was Blake Reed along with Cameron Nichols, and Nichols is in there also as a defensive lineman and a linebacker, so it's interchangeable parts on the defensive side of the ball, and an excellent job holding right to a minimal gain of about 2 yards, so it'll be 4th down and a long 6 for the Rattlers.
Yeah, they didn't bite on the fake, and actually it looked like Jaron Guevara who actually made the stop, but it was a good play not going for the fake.
Now Ambrose retreating, Brad Ballou back, not receiving a punt, but just in case it's a fake, they do not fake it, and the Rattlers get a heck of a punt out of Edlund, and it'll be fielded by Ambrose at the 19. Ambrose cutting it back to the 25, still on his feet, and he will fall down just shy of the 30-yard line at the 29. So Westlake holds defensively after that first quarter breakdown and penalty-ridden drive that ended the first quarter and was basically one of the more interesting drives, officially speaking, because a lot of flags thrown as Westlake gets an opportunity here, still tied at 7.
Yeah, and you wonder what would have happened had they not had the penalties. And then on the other side, the Rattlers get the ball and they go 3 and out. So the defense for both teams seems to have stepped up a little bit. Now Westlake gets another shot. The ball resting at their 29.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the Chaparral 29-yard line. Nick Foles under center, backs offset in the backfield. 2 wide receivers here to the near side left as the Chaps move right to left, and it'll be a toss to the left to Max Miner. Miner at the 35, across the 38, and out to the 39-yard line. A huge hit by Pat Sullivan as he let Max Miner know, but not after a 9-yard pickup by Max Miner, the senior tailback.
Yeah, Max Miner did a good job of taking that toss, coming to the left side, and then taking it upfield, picked up about 9, and that's where he met Sullivan. Sullivan put him down, but it's a good gain, and actually it's a 10-yard gain. It's a 1st down.
Well, no, they're going to mark it just shy of the 40. They need the 40. It's about 2nd down and inches there as we pick it up. So backs offset in the eye on 2nd and short at the Chaparral 39. The handoff this time will go again to Max Miner. He sheds a tackler. 1st down yardage and more out to the 45. As Westlake moves the chains here in the 2nd quarter. 1st down and 10 for the Chaps, all tied at 7 here from the Alamo Dome.
The linebacker Kyle Parker made the stop, but Max Miner doing a good job of being patient, picking a spot, finding a hole, and getting enough yardage for the 1st down and a little bit more, and the ball now is at the Chaparral 45.
Andy Spears checking into the ball game with the play. They'll break the huddle. The ball resting 5 yards away from midfield at the Westlake 45-yard line. Shotgun set for Foles. 3 wide receivers to the far side right. He drops back, looks, avoids the rush. Now stiff arms a man at the 35-yard line. Still looking, fires over the middle, and that pass is in and out of the hands of Steven Schaefer. And he had a defender draped all over him. And it looked like from that particular angle that Dexter Oney, along with Joe Warren, staying with Schaefer. And Schaefer just could not come up with the pass, but an excellent effort right there by Nick Foles.
Yeah, they flushed Nick Foles out of the pocket, so he has to roll to his right. Schaefer lined up wide left and had to go all the way across the field, and the pass was low. He was on the far hash when he took a dive at it, but it was too low for him to come up with.
Mike Walker in with the play, 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball just outside the 45-yard line in Westlake territory. It'll be Schaefer and Etier split out wide to the right. Miner along with Walker to the near side left. Hager, the lone man in the backfield, flanked out of the gun, and here's Nick Foles. And the handoff to Bron Hager. Hager out of the shotgun, again falls forward for maybe a gain of about 3 yards as Bron Hager moves inside the 45-yard line to about the 46-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 8 coming up for Westlake.
And a little bit different play. They snapped that ball directly to Bron Hager on that play, and Foles just kind of rolled out to his right, and Hager had it, but he wasn't able to pick up much because the oncoming defensive lineman saw that number 5 had the ball.
So 3rd down and a long 8, the ball resting right around the 46-yard line, basically in between the hash marks at the 46 and the 47. Shotgun set for Foles, 2 wide receivers to the far side right. Now Foles looking, firing over the middle, and that one is a blown route, obviously, because it looked like Andy Spears cut that one off about 5 yards short. Foles had a lot on it, but it was well overthrown. 4th down and a little bit of mix-up here for the Chaparrals offensively here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, obviously a case of miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver, because the pass was thrown a lot farther than the receiver went downfield. On this side, by the way, I was looking at Brad Ballou, and he looked like he had a couple of steps on his guy. So, you know, they need to look at the whole field when they start looking at what happened here in terms of coverages.
Here's Justin Wang, again, only punted 1 time. The low snap, and here it comes, and it's almost blocked. But Wang gets it away, and it's a beaut. Inside the 25, it bounces out of bounds inside the 20, and it will be down by the Chaparrals at basically the 16-yard line. So what looked dangerous there for a moment, Wang's able to pull it out, averaging 41 yards a punt, and he kicks a beauty there. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Rattlers inside the 16-yard line. So about 84 yards to go for the Rattlers as Blake Reed and the defense take over for the Chaparrals.
Well, you know, Joe, we started out with a couple of guys, if you're looking at boxing terminology, a couple of heavy blows landed by both teams with their opening possessions, and now they're just jabbing a little bit, nobody able to break through. So we've got 8:20 left on the second quarter clock. Neither team's been able to do much since they scored their first touchdown.
All tied at 7, and it will be the Rattlers as they break the huddle right around their own 10-yard line. It'll be Derek Walls and company, the 5'7", 145-pound sophomore, doing the job so far and trying to answer in a tie ball game. Now going in motion from the far side to the near side is Wallace, the tight end. The handoff will go to right, and he has some running room. Tripped up at the 20, breaks a tackle at the 25, to the 30, to the 35, finally brought down out of bounds, and it takes world-class speed on world-class speed. Ryan Swope, a true 4.4, and Marcus Wright, definitely a 4.4 sprinter. But after a huge game by Marcus Wright, Ryan Swope runs him down at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, he came inside, and when he came inside, Logan Harkness looked at him, and that's one of those moves that Wright made. He took it back outside, and he was going down the field on his way to probably a touchdown. But you saw number 25, Ryan Swope, and you mentioned world-class speed. He has it, and that's what it took to get Wright out of bounds.
25-yard pickup for Marcus Wright. That moves the ball out to the 41-yard line in Reagan territory. 2 wide receivers each way. They have a tight end here to the near side. That's Wallace. 2 backs, Bowen and Wright, flank Walls out of the gun. The handoff goes to Wright, looking for a hole, has it at midfield to the 45-40, down the left sideline, and he's finally brought out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. In fact, they'll mark him down right around the 31-yard line. A nice stop again by Brad Ballou, and Brad Ballou trying to keep up with him, but right now the secondary making the majority of the tackles on Marcus Wright, and that has to stop.
Yeah, and we've got a Chaparral down at the 40-yard line. We can't make out his number. It looks like maybe one of the linebackers. That don't want to speculate as to who it is, but they're working on him. He's face down on the 40-yard line.
I believe it may be Mark Daniel. Mark Daniel face down on the 40-yard line, and it is Mark Daniel. They roll him over onto his back. Not too sure what happened, but that's the last thing the Chaparrals need is more injuries. They lose Torrey Dawson. They have to replace him with one of their defensive linemen. They've got a lot of people, but Mark Daniel has been one of the sparks. He's up on his feet now and walking off on his own power, but he's clutching his left arm.
Yeah, it looks like an arm or a shoulder.
And he'll move off for evaluation. So it will be Victor Kronberg along with Blake Reed manning that inside linebacker position. And now checking in on the defensive side of the ball, and it looks like for the time being for Westlake, it will be, again, David Dyer will be in there. He's been rotating along the defensive line as well. And Cameron Nichols now will take over exclusively at that other defensive tackle spot. 2 wide receivers here to the near side right. 1st down and 10, the ball at the Westlake 34-yard line. And they run it inside to Wright. Wright wrapped up, and a beautiful job by Aaron Pettis. Oh, an unbelievable stop right there, just outside the 30-yard line at the 31. Maybe a pickup of 2, but that was one of the best tackles Aaron Pettis has made all year. Solo tackle made on Marcus Wright, and that is tough to do.
Yes, it is, and he's the only guy there was Aaron Pettis, and Marcus Wright trying to turn the corner. Number 20 wouldn't let him, met him head on and took him down by himself, and that's a case where Pettis was out there by himself. If he doesn't do it, nobody does.
Well, that's Aaron Pettis' 27th solo tackle from that right corner position. It was him or the end zone, and Pettis got it done. 2nd down, the ball marked again just inside the 32-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Now Walls is going to run with it up the middle. He'll fall down in the grasp of Cameron Nichols along with Jaron Guevara, who is in the ball game exclusively now as one of the linebackers, and actually he's kind of flirting with both the secondary and the linebacker position. He falls forward, does Walls to the 30-yard line, but now a huge 3rd down and 6 play coming up for Reagan.
Well, they faked the pitch to Marcus Wright, and Walls kept it up inside and couldn't get anything out of it.
Wright and Bowen flank Walls out of the gun. 2 wide receivers here to the near side right. And the handoff goes to Wright. He breaks through the line and falls forward for a 1st down. And he does not need much real estate. He saw the hole on the left side and just squirted right through there, and the opening was not much, but it was enough to get him inside the 25-yard line, down to the 21. First down and 10, Reagan, all tied at 7. 6:40 remaining here in the first half as Reagan knocking on the door.
Yeah, it looked like Cameron Nichols got a hand on it, but the turf monster is what took him down because nobody got a hand on Wright when he went down at the 21.
First down and 10 from the Westlake 21-yard line. Again, it's Wright and Walls in the backfield. One wide receiver here to the near side right, one split out wide and left. And on the zone read, it'll be Walls taking it right up the middle, and he's hit hard. And leading the way is William Sayers, and he makes the tackle right at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, William Sayers was there, and it was one of those plays, again, they run the option where they can pitch it to Wright. He faked it to Wright, did Derek Walls, and he just kept it inside and went up the middle and picked up about 6 yards.
A 6-yard pickup again, as Perry said. And the drive continues here. Second down. And a short 4 as the ball is marked just inside the 15-yard line. Again, a busy backfield. Wright along with Bowen flanking Walls, and on the zone read again, they hand it off to Wright. Wright dancing and now coming up and making a play from behind. And Marcus Wright spurts forward to the 10-yard line, a pickup of about 5. But give credit to Victor Kronberg. It looked like he was the first man on the scene, and he made the... And actually, no, it was Aaron Pettis again. Aaron Pettis coming up, and he missed him the first time, but wrapped him up. And Victor Kronberg coming in there late as well to wrap up and finish Wright at the 10-yard line. But it's a first down run as he picks up 5, so it's first and goal right at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to Pettis because he didn't give up when he missed him the first time and was able to catch him from behind.
I like that replay board. Really helps up when you don't see it right off the bat. Now, our big-time flat-screen TV up here in the Alamo Dome. I'll take that one home. We don't have a truck that big, though.
No.
First and goal from the 10. The handoff goes to Wright. He's at the 5, sheds a tackler, still on his feet, falls forward inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. And that man just does not go down. 3, 4, 5 hits right around the line of scrimmage, and he still picks up yardage inside the 5-yard line. Brad Baldwin checking in defensively. Ryan Swope out as the goal line unit comes in.
Yeah, he cut it up inside, and William Sayers was there, some other chaps as well. But you know what's almost as impressive as Wright's ability to run is the fact that he holds on to the ball after taking lots of shots.
Second down and goal, the ball marked at the 3-yard line. Again, Reagan just outside the goal line and knocking on the door in a tie ball game. 7-all with 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first half from the Alamo Dome. A busy backfield again. He's flanked on either side. The handoff is fake. They'll run it the other way. Walls again trying to evade tacklers, and Blake Reed had him, chased him back, and cleaning it up again is Aaron Pettis along with Jaron Guevara. And I tell you what, they are doing the job. Aaron Pettis in this drive has really been a constant in the defense. And an excellent job there containing the quarterback and not letting that play get out of hand.
Yeah, Guevara did what Pettis did on an earlier play. He missed him the first time, but came back to get him, and that's a lot of hustle, and you like to see that. When a guy misses, sometimes they want to give up. He doesn't, and he makes the tackle. The ball's at the 6.
An important third down play. 3rd and goal from the 6. The Rattlers would like to get into the end zone. Don't know if they'll settle for 3 this close to the goal line. Rochelio goes in motion from the near side, and now looking to pass is Walls. Now he'll tuck it and run, and wow, what a hit! A duo of Chaps wrap him up at the 7-yard line, and he finally falls down at the 8. An unbelievable third down effort right there by the Chaparral defense, and somehow they corral Walls and bring him down inside the 10-yard line, a loss of 4 on the play.
Well, he wanted to throw it, and then he tucked it fairly quickly. He ran into Cameron Nichols, he ran into Logan Harkness, and they just walled Walls in to make sure he didn't go anywhere.
They got to put a box around him somehow, and that's how they did it. And now Edlund, an accomplished field goal kicker, and definitely he's got the leg. And he'll have a very easy field goal opportunity as both teams come in with accomplished kickers. Again, Edlund for the Reagan Rattlers, and of course Tucker, who's missed a 47-yarder, but it was tipped. Tash will hold it. It'll be a 19-yard, check that, it'll be a 24-yard field goal. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 2:41 remaining here in the first half, Reagan takes its first lead of the ballgame here in the Division I 5A Region 4 Championship. It's Reagan 10, Westlake 7. The Chaparrals get the football right after this. This is Westlake football.
spring collection teach us about a retirement plan?
Thank you, parents. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
What works for someone else
It's about carpool.
may not work for you. Talk to one of our financial advisors. Together we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Number 37, Gordon Eter. And number 28, Max Mine. Grant Edlin will kick off.
And Edlin will kick off, and he'll kick it off, and it will be fielded inside the 10-yard line, and bringing it out is Brad Ballou across the 25 to the 30, still on his feet, but brought down at the 30-yard line.
Down to the 9-yard line.
Trying to clear the way downfield was Jordan Eter, and Brad Ballou will advance the ball about 20 yards out to the 30-yard line. So Westlake, with 2:34 remaining in the first half, down 10-7, will have an opportunity to go 70 yards. On the scoring drive for the Rattlers, an 11-play, 78-yard drive, took 6 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock, capped by a 24-yard field goal by Edlin. And again, Reagan with the edge here in the second quarter, 10-7. Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson, Rob Durkee down on the sideline. And breaking the huddle is Nick Foles. He'll start under center. In a wingback formation here. Now going out of the wingback position is Jordan Eter in motion here to the near side left. The handoff will go to Max Miner. Miner with some huge room. Nice block right there across the 40-yard line. And Miner spurts through. A lead block there by Andy Spears. And these receivers, Perry, really enjoy downfield blocking. And it took a block for Andy Spears to spring Max Miner in a 12-yard gain out to the 42.
Yeah, he did. He hit Edlin, the right corner, but he got up and actually made the stop. But a good play by the offensive line to spring Miner, and a good play by Miner to pick up the first down.
Well, the spot is the 41, so it's an 11-yard pickup. Again, Eter going in motion from the slot left to the right, and the handoff will go to Miner. Miner dancing in a lot of traffic, but he'll be brought down right around the 45-yard line. So after all of that, he gains 4. And the clock moving again, just outside 2 minutes to play here in the opening half.
Yeah, the tackle made by Adam Arthur, who's the end for the Reagan Rattlers, and Garrett Brown, one of the interior defensive linemen.
Miner and Spears split out wide to the near side left. Schaefer along with Eter. Now Miner going in motion to the far side right. They'll end up with 3 wide receivers on that side of the field. Here comes the blitz. They go downfield. Andy Spears has some separation. It's caught at the 15 to the 10, and he's tripped up at the 5-yard line. Oh, what an unbelievable play right there as Edlin had to trip him up at the shoelace. Otherwise, Andy Spears goes into the end zone. It'll be first and goal from the Westlake at the 3-yard line.
Excellent play by Nick Foles on the front end of that. And then you can see Spears getting separation from Edlin, and Edlin is making a diving tackle, actually gets the heel of Andy Spears. Spears falls inside the 5. The ball is just inside the 3-yard line. Westlake in business now.
Well, they drop a deck of cards, a 52-yard pickup there. It's first and goal for the Chaparrals at the 3-yard line. Braunhager along with Dornack. Brad Dornack checking into the ball game. The backs are offset in the eye. Eter is the motion man here from the far side to the near side. They hand it off to Braunhager, and they stop him right at the 1-yard line. A 2-yard pickup, second and goal coming up for the Chaps.
Aaron Bueno on the stop, and it was a good one because you could tell that number 5 was on his way to the end zone, but Bueno grabs him from behind, gets an ankle, gains about a yard on the play, so the ball's inside the 2-yard line now, but Westlake's in good shape. We're inside a minute, and they'd like to score, but they wouldn't want to leave a whole lot of time on the clock.
No, indeed, as Reagan has definitely shown they are a quick strike offense, and they do it on the ground. 45 seconds remaining here in the half. 2 wide receivers here to the near side right. And it will be a low snap, but Foles handles it. He'll roll to the right out of the gun, still looking, fires towards the end zone, has a man. Is it caught? Yes, it is. And making the grab in the back of the end zone is Jordan Eter. The junior playmaker comes down with the football, and Westlake scores.
Playmaker indeed, because That pass was low and away. It looked like Edlin had the coverage in the back of the end zone, and if Etier doesn't catch it, it's an incomplete pass, but Nick Foles put it where 37 could come up with it.
A statement right there, and now the chance of Olay coming up from the Westlake students as Etier will have to catch his breath briefly as he'll hold for Justin Tucker. The snap down, the kick up, and the kick is good. So with 33 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Westlake reclaims the lead. It's now Westlake 14, Reagan 10. Back in a moment as the first half comes to an end. Live from the Alamo Dome, this is Westlake football.
For the second straight year, it's going to take a big comeback to win. 2 receivers, third down and nearly 11 needed for the first. Inside the 20, number 10, back to pass, under pressure, steps out of it, pump fake. What a fake. To the 25, to the 30, up the sidelines to midfield, 45. Say goodnight to this one. 80 yards for the touchdown.
What a run. Man, I could use some brisket and ribs right now.
Back to receive the kickoff for the Reagan Rattlers, number 8, Grant Edlund, and number 21, Marcus Wright.
A 5-play, 70-yard drive, capped by a 2-yard touchdown catch by Jordan Etier in the back of the end zone. The extra point is good. 14-10 Westlake with 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the Alamo Dome, live in San Antonio, Texas, it's the 5A Division I Region 4 Championship. And if you say that 5 times fast without messing up, call us. We'll give you a free cookie.
Good luck.
Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson, and the ensuing kickoff will be down in the end zone, and Marcus Wright, a very frustrated young man, as he has to go to a knee, and it'll be a touchback. So 80 yards to pay dirt with only 33 seconds as Wright and company will try to get the ship into the end zone before the half.
Joe, back to the touchdown play. First of all, Nick Foles was in the shotgun. He had a low snap. The snap was about ankle high. He came up with it, rolled to his right. Etier ran from the left to the right across the back of the end zone, and that's where Nick Foles found him with a perfectly thrown low ball that Etier came up with.
Well, grading out beautifully is Aaron Pettis. He will not be in the rotation this time around as they're going to try to keep the football in front are the defensive secondary, so it will be 2 wide receivers each way out of the gun. Again, yet to take a snap under center is Walls, and they fake the throw and hand it off. Who has huge room is Marcus Wright across the 25 out to the 30. But wow, what a hit right there. Ryan Ambrose came down and laid the absolute wood on the play, as well as Blake Reed. A ton of pursuit by the Chaps headed that way. It was an 11-yard pickup by Marcus Wright, but he paid for it on the far sideline.
I'll tell you what, they looked like they were going to pass. It was kind of like the old Statue of Liberty play, but he goes to his left, does Marcus Wright, and he turns the corner, gets upfield, and just as he's trying to go a little bit farther, he's get hit over there by what they call in boxing a haymaker.
Oh,
and Ryan Ambrose just laid a shot on him and shake your feelings.
First down at 10, 14-10 the score here as the half is almost over with. But again, Walls retreating, still looking, fires downfield, and that pass is tipped and almost intercepted by Riley Orloff. What a play by the senior outside linebacker. Man, I'll tell you what, if he tips that one the right way, the pigskin could come down in his hands, but he had to turn himself into a forward, maybe a center, and really just block that ball basketball style. Incomplete pass, second down coming up for Reagan.
Yeah, Uncle Riley did a good job of keeping that one away from the receiver, and even if he doesn't go anywhere, if he can catch that ball, there's enough time on the clock for Westlake to do something, but as it turns out, it's an incomplete pass.
Kendrick Cutzinger on as one of the defensive tackles on the right side as Reagan moves left to right here in the second quarter. The handoff again goes to Wright with huge running room across the 40-45 to midfield. He's finally brought down at the Westlake 48-yard line. A huge spurt right there. But again, it's all about keeping the football in front of them, and with that, the clock stops momentarily with 9 seconds remaining here in the half, and it's 14-10. Timeout's been called by Reagan. We'll take it with them. Back in 60 seconds. This is Westlake football.
Hey, Joe.
It has come to this. 4th and goal at the 3. A stop here, and this game is over. Double wide receivers to the right. It's a reverse play. He's at the 5. He's hit at the 1. He did not get in. What a huge play. That might be the tackle of the year.
Wow, he hit the proverbial stone wall. It was like he was trying to reach for those tasty St. Louis ribs at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, and he was stopped cold.
First and 10 from the Westlake 47.
By David Wetzel. They're out of it now. And time for maybe one, possibly two plays here to close it out. It'll be first down and 10 from the Westlake 48. Pumping once his walls. Still pumping and now firing downfield. It's a wobbly pass and it will be tipped and caught by Tash. Wow, what an amazing catch by Tash. And is it complete? Yes, it is.
No time left on the clock. It looks like that's where the half will end.
Oh, that's unfortunate right there. The Hail Mary with time ticking off the first half clock, and Tash just could not get in the end zone. So it closes out the first half as Reagan tried to get in the end zone, and we're about maybe 3 yards short. And on the replay, we can see it here on CHAP TV. Just an excellent job.
Brad Ballou. To keep him out of the end zone. Ballou tackled him at about the 2-yard line, kind of hog-tied him.
And you can tell by the Westlake faithful, the cheers arise. There was no time left on the clock, so there's no time to run a play, which means the first half has come to an end. Your halftime score, Westlake 14, Reagan 10. Live from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, it's the Region 4 Division I 5A Championship as Westlake and San Antonio Reagan hook up here along I-35. And I tell you what, Perry, so far, penalties barred the first quarter. And as we go down to the field, no doubt Rob Durkee will ask Derek Long about those penalties and the adjustments made at halftime. Let's go down to Rob Durkee, who's with Coach Long.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, we're down here in a very penalty-driven drive we had. What was going on with that drive?
Well, I guess we're doing a lot of things wrong. You know, they're throwing flags, so we must be rules. So probably the second half, we'll talk to them about, you know, doing the little things right, taking that extra step, you know, not grabbing hold and not pushing off, and see if we can get rid of some of those in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Rob.
Back to you, Joe.
All right, Rob Durkee down on the sidelines, and he notices, hey, you know what? It could go either way. The flags are being thrown. In that one drive alone, Steven Schaefer got popped twice, both on big plays. One, a huge reception that would have set up Westlake at the Rattler 30-yard line. The other one in the end zone that took away a touchdown. He's been open, and he has been able to get by Joe Warren, his man-on-man in the defensive back. I mean, it is his opposite, and he outweighs him, and he definitely has him in height. There's a huge difference there, 6'3" to 5'8", 230 to 180, and it might just be because Steven Schaefer is such a big target. It might be the problem, and the referees are trying to just keep it fair.
Maybe so, and you know, give Derek Long some credit for being.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Northeast Independent School District will
At Capital Chevrolet, saving you money is a family tradition my grandfather started back in 1935. Our commitment to low prices continues today with Capital Chevrolet's $2,000 low price guarantee. It's simple. We guarantee to beat any dealer's advertised price on a new Chevrolet, or we'll pay you $2,000. That's Capital's low price guarantee. Just doing my part to carry on the family tradition.
Red 21! Red! Prime rib! Seasoned seared! Slow roasted and Outback!
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
I'm open!
Julie, will you take me to Outback for their new Heart of Gold Bronze Filet with sauteed artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and a light lemon Alfredo sauce?
Yes, I will.
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
My mother has a red car, too.
You're kidding me.
No. She doesn't have red hair like you, though.
My mom does.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thanks.
Okay.
curious about financial advisors.
Let's trim it down.
With the right guide, you can find rewards in any environment. Wachovia Securities. Talk to us. Together we can achieve uncommon results.
Independent School District is proud to present the Westlake Chaparral Marching Band. The Chaparral Marching Band officers are President Megan Perkins, Vice President Spencer Davis, Secretary Katie Moss, Treasurer Anna Shellhouse, Representative at Large Michael Tomei, Historian Gabe Alvarez, Librarian Veronica Serrato, Quartermaster Elliot Goodman, Drum Captain Erica Bazan, and Color Guard Captain Monica Clark. For your entertainment, the band will perform The Race. The Chaparral Band is under the field direction of Drum Majors Elizabeth Bandera, Gracie Jameo, and Daniel Ben. And now, the Westlake Chaparral Marching Band. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Westlake Highline. Under the direction of Chelsea Harris, the award-winning Highline continues with a rich tradition of excellence. Highline's board members are President Kelsey Kirksey, Vice President Stephanie Wallace, Secretary Andy Schroeder, Reporter Megan Medford, Treasurer Blair McBride, Historian Allison Wong, and Spirit Director Catherine Neiman. The Highline officers are Second Lieutenant Megan Alsmeyer, Second Lieutenant Audrey Breeze, Second Lieutenant Patricia Dewey, First Lieutenant Melissa McDowell, and Captain Olivia Albanese. This week's Dancers of the Week are Catherine Milburn and Andy Schroeder. Spirit Girl of the Week is Virginia Rainey. Today, the Highline will perform their traditional holiday favorite, Sleigh Ride.
Let's hear it for these two great.
To the Division I 5A Region 4 Championship game, live from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Again on CHAP TV, on the radio on the Big 1530 ESPN Radio in Austin, 1530 AM KZNX Austin, and also live on the internet at ChapSportsLive.com. And folks, we had a record-breaking weekend with the Los Fresnos game, and we hope all of you are enjoying this live on the internet at ChapSportsLive.com. Make sure you go back and check out all of the interviews on Chaps On Demand. And you can check out the comments of Jeff Ward, also the comments of the Chaps of the week that week, and the thoughts of head coach Derek Long, as all of that is available, including the Nader perspective. You can go back and download all of your favorite chaparrals, including Jeff Ward with this segment with us here in the last 2 weeks. Justin Tucker's ensuing kickoff here to start the second half is unfortunate. His kickoff is a line drive, and it goes out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So, not a bad deal for the Reagan Rattlers, who come in down 4 points. It's 14-10. They'll get the ball at their own 35-yard line, 65 yards away from pay dirt.
And Joe, let's not forget what happened at the end of the first half, because the long pass play that ended at about the 2-yard line was stopped by, I think it was Brad Ballou stopped the play from getting into the end zone. So that was a huge play. So if there was any momentum going into the locker rooms, you know, either team could claim a little bit of it, because Westlake stopped the Reagan Rattlers from getting a score there at the end of the half, and Reagan said, well, you know, we were knocking on the door and we would have gone in had it not been for the clock running out.
Well, about dead even as far as the offenses are concerned. Again, Westlake 243 yards of total offense, Reagan 247. We'll get you the halftime stats here in a moment. Again, Bron Hager, 7 carries for 69 yards. He's also caught a pass for 26 yards. And Andy Spears, 2 catches for 72 yards and the touchdown. We'll get you the rest of those stats here in a moment. The first play for Reagan is a run, and wrapping him up immediately at the 30-yard line is the Westlake defense, and that is Marcus Wright. No gain on the play, and swarming defense along the line of scrimmage for the Westlake Chaparrals.
Yeah, Blake Reed, the primary guy getting in there, number 64, and that's what you've got to do with Marcus Wright. You've got to get to him early, and you got to wrap him up, because once he starts dancing, you know, he doesn't want to turn the music off, and he'll keep moving down the field. So it was a good play by number 64, Blake Reed.
So it will be 2nd down and 10, and don't you know, the Westlake Chaparrals want to stop here. Out of the gun, 2 wide receivers. Now Rogelio will go from the near side right to the far side left as the Rattlers move left to right here in the 3rd quarter. They fake the zone read, and Walls is back to pass. He fires over the middle, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by Tash. Travis Tash advances at 3 yards after the catch. A 13-yard pickup for Travis Tash. And again, he shows it's only his 2nd catch of the afternoon, Perry, but he shows he's a big man that can get open underneath.
And he did get open. You could see Walls rolling to his left, throwing back across the field a little bit, and number 11 makes the catch, and that's where he runs into Brad Ballou, who makes the stop.
Again, for Steven Schaefer, he's caught a pass for 13 yards, but he had 2 big-time catches taken away from him. Max Miner, 8 carries for 40 yards, 1 catch for 20 yards, and again, Jordan Etier, 1 catch for 2 yards, and it was a touchdown grab for the junior. Now the reverse, going the opposite way, and Westlake reads it nicely and stopping the man carrying the football right up the gut. A nice job there as Wallace got the ball in the reverse, and they gained maybe a yard. Excellent pursuit and discipline by the Westlake defense.
Yeah, Cameron Nichols, you could see it was Thomas Johnston, also Blake Reed, all making that play turn inside. Ryan Ambrose made sure the outside was covered, or Aaron Pettis rather, but he didn't have to make the tackle because it was already done inside. Logan Harkness there as well.
Walls 6 of 19. Or excuse me, I should say 9 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. And he's thrown for 60 yards. He hands off to Wright, who's still on his feet at midfield. Inside Chaparral territory, he breaks a tackle, and he heads towards the 30, to the 25, and Ryan Swope absolutely body slams Marcus Wright inside the 15-yard line. What an unbelievable stop by Ryan Swope, but an even better job by Marcus Wright as that man found the smallest of creases just to try to angle his way inside the 20-yard line. An unbelievable job by Marcus Wright, and a great job by Ryan Swope as well, bringing the man down before he went into the end zone.
Joe, he ran out of the tackle of Kendrick Cutzinger near the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield, and then Ryan Swope did body slam him forward down at about the 13-yard line.
So a nice pickup of 42 yards on the run by Wright, who already had 168 before that. So he's over the 200-yard mark, and now the zone read is kept by Walls, and Walls is swarmed in the backfield, dropped. Maybe a loss of one on the play back to the 15. Dyer checking in along the defensive line.
Yeah, Cameron Nichols and Thomas Johnston, among others, on the stop there. That play went nowhere, and looked like they faked it, and the quarterback Walls decided to keep it, but there was nothing for him to do, and he actually lost maybe a yard or two on the play.
So it will be second down and 11. The first down marker is just inside the 5 at the 4-yard line, so they can pick up one inside the 10-yard line. Out of the gun, 2 wide receivers each way. They run the option, and Walls is trying to keep it. He will. The ball has come loose right around the 15-yard line, but it looks like a Rattler pounced on it very quickly, and it was one of the offensive linemen, and up front already for the Rattler offense saving the day. I believe it was Pat Martinez, the center, 5'11", 235-pound junior, falling down on the football that was stripped out of the hand of Derek Walls.
Yeah, that would have been a huge play for the Westlake Chaparrals. They got to come up with it. It was a huge play for the Rattlers because they did get it back.
Now a 2-yard swing on that one. Another loss on the play as Walls has been swarmed every time they've run the zone read. They'll break the huddle in a big third down play here. The first down marker inside the 5 at the 4. Shotgun set, 2 wide receivers to the far side left. And again, they go with the zone read. Back to passes, Walls, swarmed, fires towards the near side. And going up for it was Ryan Swope. And this time, it looks like the shoe might be on the other foot, and we don't know yet. The flag comes down. No doubt it is pass interference, but is it on Matt Smith or is it on Ryan Swope?
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes because that's basically what we saw with the calls against Schaefer. So we'll see how they call this one.
It is offensive pass interference, so another big-time play right there.
So, Joe, I guess what you can say is at least they're consistent. They're calling it on the offense.
Well, both sides, again, with the bigger receivers, and that time, you think about Matt Smith, 6'3", 210-pound senior. He's about 20 pounds lighter than Steven Schaefer, but a similar body build, and covering on that play. You know, for Westlake, you think, okay, it's a throw-it-up game. You've got the mismatch height-wise here on the near side. But that time, again, pushing off and creating the offensive pass interference. And a right call here from the sideline. They're going to decline the penalty. Smart move there by Derek Long, and they're going to force him to kick the field goal here. The ball resting at the 16-yard line, so no gain on the play on the incomplete pass, but it will be backed up. And again, this is a huge drive that was created by a 42-yard run by Marcus Wright, who brought it down inside the 15-yard line, and then 3 straight mistakes. And now it looks like Edlin will try this one from around 32 yards out. Again, Tash with the hold. It'll be his second field goal on the afternoon. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is no, it is wide to the left. No, I thought they were going to go up. The officials underneath the goalpost kind of looked at each other. They started their hands up and then said, no, it's wide to the left, and the kick is no good.
And it looked like it had a shot when you could see the trajectory of the ball, but it did go to the left of the left upright, so he pulled it.
So he did indeed, and that is a huge break for Westlake. A 42-yard run by Marcus Wright set things up 15 yards away from the goal line. And unfortunately for Reagan, they are unable to come away with it with points. So Westlake holds, and they'll take over on their own 20-yard line. The first time we've seen the offense here in the second half. It's 14-10 Westlake as the opening drive in the third quarter for Reagan comes up null and void. The handoff goes to Bron Hager. Hager with huge room across the 25 to the 30. Runs over a would-be tackler and a huge gain out past the 30 to the 34-yard line. A 14-yard pickup for Bron Hager on the right side.
Good play by Hager. The play went outside. He got what he could to the outside. Then he cut it up, and it was enough for a first down. It looked like Ben Stonestreet, one of the tacklers on the play, but number 5 makes a good decision once he gets outside, and you can see a block out there by Max Miner. He got outside that block, then turned it up, and that's where he ran into Sullivan and Stonestreet.
So the ball resting at the 34-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. Bron Hager, the man in the backfield. He's all by himself. Under center is Nick Foles. Now Miner coming from the near side left to the far side right. 3-step drop, firing over the middle, and it's caught by Mike Walker, and the ball goes in the air, and it's picked off. at the 35-30. And now rumbling down the sideline is Stone Street. He's still on his feet, spins at the 5, and finally falls down. Mike Walker had the ball. He was hit. The ball came out. Stone Street on the tip drill picks it off, and the tide turns for the Rattlers.
Yeah, a huge play. Nick Foles threw the ball. He hit Walker where he wanted. Hit him in the hands, but he didn't get a chance to secure it because of the hit that was put on him. It looked like by Edlin, and then Stone Street came around, picked it off in the air, runs down the near sideline, and would have scored had it not been for Nick Foles, who forced him out.
Unbelievable right there, that turn of events after Westlake holds the missed field goal by Edlund, and then Walker on the catch. He did not get an opportunity. A great play by Pat Sullivan, and Sullivan jarred the ball loose from the hands of Mike Walker. It goes up in the air. Stone Street there on the tip drill. You work on it every day at practice, and it pays off. A nice return, and now it's 1st and goal for Reagan. Here in the 3rd quarter, they're down 14-10. The handoff goes to Wright. Blake Reed had him at the 5-yard line, but he's still on his feet, driving his feet towards the goal line, and it looks like his forward progress will be halted just shy of the goal line at the 1. 2nd down and goal coming up for Reagan.
Yeah, Wright was hit at about the 4-yard line, and he kept turning his feet, but he also got some help from his offensive linemen because they were pushing the pile forward, so the ball ends up just inside the 1-yard line.
Gavada and Baldwin in along the goal line defense. As Reagan down 4 points. It has not been the offensive juggernaut so far, but one team knocking on the door, and that is the San Antonio Reagan Rattlers. It is 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Shotgun set, the handoff goes to Bowen, and Bowen is stood up by a number of tacklers, but now he's falling down, and the ball has been stripped out from Bowen's hands, and who has come up with it? It is Aaron Pettis. Pettis reached in, grabbed the pigskin, and another turn of events. The 2nd turnover in about 45 seconds, and the Westlake Chaparrals take over.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't catch the guy who hit him, but he was jarred, and you could see Ryan Pettis coming in, and he was trying to pull the ball away. He finally got it, fell on it, number 20 at the 1-yard line, so a huge turnover where it looked like the Rattlers were going in. The Chaparrals now have it back and a chance to go 99 yards.
Well, they try to drive it in via the leap, and right at the top of the leap, it looked like Blake Reed filled the gap, and then you just had nowhere to go, and when you keep going, that's the opportunity for the defensive backs and everybody else to reach in and start grabbing. And Aaron Pettis was the right man in the right spot, and now the ball is basically on the 6-inch line, just outside the goal line, and Westlake's going to have to come up with something big here just to get out of the shadow of their own end zone.
Exactly.
2 wide receivers to the far side right. Westlake backed up, but no point scored as they take over on the turnover. The handoff goes to Max Miner. He lowers his shoulder and gets maybe a yard gain on the right side. So it will be 2nd down and 9. Again, the 1st down marker at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't get more than a yard, and that was all the defense would give him. But what you want to do is make sure you get something and get out of the shadow of that end zone. And he probably picked up maybe a half yard on that play.
We ended the 1st quarter all tied at 7. Westlake able to get on board with 33 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter in the 1st half, answering a Reagan field goal in the 2nd quarter. We went to halftime up 14-10. That's where we are right now with 6:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Live from San Antonio's Alamo Dome. The handoff goes to Bron Hager. Hager stood up at the line of scrimmage. They're driving him back. They're going to give him forward progress. Everybody in Reagan's side leaping and cheering because he's brought down in the end zone, but forward progress gets him out to the 1. So it will be 3rd down and a short 9 coming up for Westlake as they try Bron Hager on the right side, and there was just nowhere to go. Excellent job up front. And it looked like Joe Stein in there on the tackle.
Yeah, Ron Hager tried to get something, a hole open, but it closed as fast as it opened, and Joe Stein was there to help close it, and they drove him back into the end zone, but it's always forward progress. So the crowd being a little overzealous, hoping it was a safety. It is not. It is 3rd down, but Westlake still needing to get some room, if nothing else, to give their punter a chance to kick it out if they can't get a 1st down.
And everybody on their feet here, 3rd down and a long 9. Out of the gun, Nick Foles right between. And Nick Foles doesn't like the shift that the Reagan Rattlers just put on, so he will wisely take a timeout here. Out of the gun, it's dangerous stuff. If you don't pick up the blitz, you have the opportunity to pick up the safety, and that's not what Nick Foles wants to do. He's chatting with Andy Spears, and this is what I like about the Westlake crew. They take the timeout, and no one has gone to the sideline to talk to the coaches. They're all talking together, so a little self-coaching.
Call the Steam Team. We've been cleaning Austin for over 20 years. Call the Steam Team. We've been cleaning Austin for over 20 years.
Third and 9.
Foles, hands on hips, waits for the whistle to blow. He's flanked by Hager. The shift, and they're throwing the flag, and again, this is going to burn him. And on the far side, or on the near side, I should say, for Westlake. And with the shift, it was Ross Cooper, and Ross Cooper moved to counterbalance Dexter Oney, who was the one that moved from his linebacking position down to the near side to play defensive end. He showed the blitz, so it will be half the distance to the goal. It's not going to matter, but it will be half the distance to the goal. So that means basically the ball will be right on the goal line, and we'll do it all over again.
Yeah,
third down.
Excuse me, Joe. The linemen once they get set, they can't move, but the receivers and the backs can. But you can't have guys moving all over the place. In that case, it was Cooper.
They need the 11-yard line. The shotgun set. Minor in motion. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Firing to the near side, and it's complete to Andy Spears at the 11-yard line, and he is right at the marker, and this is very close.
Wow, it looks like, though, they're going to spot him, Joe, where in forward progress wasn't. They moved it back to the 10, so if that's the case, it's going to be fourth down. Where the official on the near side spots it is the 10-yard line. Where he caught it was at the 11, and they don't give him forward progress.
Yeah, he caught it at the 11-yard line. He did one of those little curl routes on the near side, and Foles got it out very quickly, and now Nick Foles is taking a look at it right on the line of scrimmage, and down in this neck of the woods, Perry Watson, it's just, in a game like this, you're up 4 points, you don't want to risk it turning the ball over. Even though a yard is not that much for this offense, you got to be somewhat conservative and let your punter take over.
Oh, absolutely. And if you've got any kind of confidence in your defense, that's why you have a defense. So you kick it out, and they're fortunate they're not kicking from the end line.
And coming in unabated, wow, almost blocked again, but a nice, beautiful spiraling punt by Wang, and it's fielded at the 45-yard line and going right after it. Wow, excellent play right there, and it looked like Hager making an appearance there on the special teams, wrestling down the receiver, and on that was Grant Edlund, and Edlund had absolutely no chance as Hager brought him down, but a beautiful effort by Justin Wang, and avoiding basically the rush by Joe Warren, who leaped through the line of scrimmage and got a great jump on the block attempt.
And Warren is lucky he didn't brush the kicker Wang, because he came very close to clipping him in terms of hitting him, which would have been a penalty. But on the other end of that play, Hager putting on his ex-linebacker hat to make the tackle.
So the ball marked at the Reagan 48-yard line, 14-10 with 4:05 remaining here in the third quarter, live from the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio, Texas. The handoff will go to Wright, and Wright goes down immediately at the line of scrimmage, and those holes are all kinds of clogged. And Thomas Johnston and Blake Reed on the stop.
Yeah, they are the cloggies, because the cloggers, because 64 and 44 met at Marcus Wright, and that's what you got to do. You've got to hit him. It was absolutely no gain. They started at the 48. The ball is still at the 48, and what Marcus Wright does, he's a patient runner until he gets out in the open field, but he was looking for a place to go, and Reed and Johnston didn't give him one.
Second down and 10. Two wide receivers lined up right behind each other here on the near side, and they break it out. The handoff goes to Wright. He takes it to the left side. Huge room across the 40, to the 30, to the 25. Brad Ballou coming in. He's still on his feet, and he thought he might be out of bounds, but that is not the case. He ran right by him to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Reagan.
Well, on that play, they didn't run right in the middle. They ran him around the left side. He got outside, and he had the blocking set up, and once he got past the first wave, it was a foot race. Ballou couldn't catch him, and it looked like it may have been Ryan Swope who overran him inside the 10 or the 15, and from there he just cut it back and got in. This is a guy that you got to hit fast and early. otherwise, that's what you get.
He's still on his feet. I thought he might have gone out of bounds when Brad Ballou tried to get him from the far side. He came in, had the angle, and I thought Wright might have stepped out of bounds, but he stuttered stepped at the 20-yard line, cut back upfield, and went into the end zone for the touchdown. A 52-yard scamper by Marcus Wright. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the extra point is no good. So, with that, Reagan reclaims the lead, but it's a slight lead at that. With 3:19 remaining here in the third quarter, Reagan on the board with a 52-yard touchdown run by Marcus Wright. They lead 16-14 over Westlake. The Division I 5A Region 4 championship continues in a moment. This is Westlake football.
Hi, I'm Bobby Jenkins with ABC Pest and Lawn Services.
And I'm Ruben Torres.
Meet some of Ruben's best customers.
Ruben is a great technician. He is very timely.
Ruben's always great. He comes by, knows exactly what he's doing.
Ruben is very courteous. He's always professional.
Very trustworthy.
Ruben is always reliable and friendly and does the job right.
Call ABC Pest and Lawn Services today.
We're conscientious and we care.
ABC Pest and Lawn.
Welcome back to live coverage of Westlake High School football on the Big 1530 ESPN Radio on ChapSportsLive.com. The ensuing kickoff by Edland is a short, high kick that will be fielded by Festi at the 28-yard line. A two-play, 52-yard drive took 46 seconds. It was capped by a 52-yard touchdown run by Marcus Wright. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westlake football. Well, it's Reagan 16, Westlake 14 as we join you here from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. The Region 4 championship game here in Division I 5A. It is Reagan 16, Westlake 14. Westlake taking over on their own 28-yard line, now down 2 points. The missed extra point, who knows, may come back to haunt David Wetzel and the Rattlers. Backs offset in the backfield. The handoff goes to Max Miner. He cuts it back, bounces to the outside, sheds a tackler at the 35 to the 40. 45 and finally driven out of bounds, and he was already out of bounds. Will this be a late hit against Ben Stonestreet? No flags just yet. But Max Miner right there at the 47, 48-yard line was well out of bounds before Stonestreet laid the wood.
Yeah, you heard the crowd from the Westlake side gasping when they hit him because they thought he was out of bounds. We'll look at the replay, and you could see a missed tackle, and then he was basically on his way out of bounds, but not quite. So that's one of those borderline calls. The bottom line is, though, he does a good job of getting out to the outside, does Max Miner, picks up the first down. The ball now at the Westlake 48.
A 20-yard pickup by Max Miner, who has come back with a vengeance in this ball game as the Westlake #1 tailback. Backs again offset. And now going in motion is Brad Ballou from the near side. The defensive shift. The offensive line calling it out. The play action pass. Foles back to pass. Fires downfield. Mike Walker's open. Can he get there? No, he can't. And the pass is incomplete. Mike Walker just not had the jets there as he created some separation with his defender, Joe Stein, right around the 20-yard line, but he just could not catch up to the football.
He did get the separation, and Nick Foles did a good job of hiding the ball and throwing it out. Just did not get it close enough to him, and it looked like it was Joe Warren along with Stein who were back there, but Walker had a couple of steps on both of them.
Well, they go for the jugular right off the bat from midfield, so it'll be second down and 10 from the Chaparral 48-yard line. The backs now offset to the right, out of the eye. Two wide receivers to the near side left. Now Hager going in motion out of the backfield here to the near side. They run the option play. Here's the pitch, and Westlake's Nick Foles gets nailed, but a nice pitch and catch right there, and a flag comes in late from the middle of the field as Max Miner advances the ball into Rattler territory down inside the 45-yard line to the 43. Let's see what the flag is about, because Nick Foles got absolutely hammered after the pitch.
Yeah, that play, though, the flag is, and we'll see our referee, Joseph Sedito, make the call.
It's going to be a legal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back on the offset.
And that is the call against Sedita, basically telling the crowd that The flag actually came in from the 30-yard line here in Rattler territory, and it came from the umpire about 15 yards downfield after the play was ongoing. So it will be a block in the back, and that's a huge bite into the gain there for Max Minor, and it's going to be a tough third down play.
Well, it's a double bad play because one, you get the penalty, and two, you get a penalty where the penalty took place. It wasn't even near where the ball was.
Illegal block in the back on the offense, 10 yards, replay second down.
So again, they'll replay second down, so they get the benefit of getting second down, but they'll mark off 10 yards. So back into Westlake territory, the football goes, and they'll mark it back to the Chaparral 44-yard line. So it will be second down.
Near the Westlake.
And the ball marked again just inside the 45-yard line. They need the Rattler 42, so it will be second down and 14. As Westlake breaks the huddle, Andy Spears coming in with the play. Mike Walker will check out. Shotgun set for Nick Foles. He has two receivers each way. Schaefer in the slot right. Now Minor in motion from the slot left, moving to the far side right. Back to passes Foles out of the gun. They pick up the blitz. Now Foles scrambling, fires downfield, and the pass is caught. Caught by Jordan Etier at the 45-yard line. He dives forward, and what an effort by Nick Foles. Hanging in the pocket, he had defenders on him. He should have been sacked, but somehow he comes up with enough range of motion with his arm to complete the pass, and it's close to the first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought he was going down because he was hit by one of the linebackers in the backfield, but they couldn't get him down, and he was still able to get the pass off to Jordan Etier.
So it will be third down after a pickup of roughly 12 yards on the play. It'll be third down and a long two from the Rattler 44. Backs offset to the right. A receiver each way, and they hand it off to Max Minor, who has the first down yardage and more. Cuts it inside to the 35-30. Finally brought down by a pair of tacklers as Mike Walker trying to pick up the block. He couldn't take on two players, but there coming over was Joe Warren to make the stop on Minor. First down yardage and more as Minor advances the ball inside the 30 down to the 27.
Well, Max Minor showing some quickness as he bursts through the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle, looks like, from Stone Street and gets downfield and was finally brought down by Sullivan, but a good play by number 28 picking up big yardage.
1:53 remaining here in the third quarter. It's 16-14. Westlake down 2 points to San Antonio Reagan. First down and 10 from the Rattler. 27-yard line. They hand it off to Minor again, who stood up at the line of scrimmage. And no gain on the play as he is mauled right at the line of scrimmage by a slew of white shirt tacklers.
Yeah, they were led by the linebackers. Stone Street, number 43, from his outside linebacking position, the strong side linebacker. He makes the stop, and a gain of about maybe one on the play.
Minor will check out here to the near side. Hager will stay in. Andy Spears will split out wide to the right. Etier to the wide left with Schaefer in the slot left. It'll be Dornack and Hager flanking Nick Foles out of the gun, and the handoff will go to Braun Hager. Hager runs right and is stopped at the 25-yard line. He falls forward for maybe a yard on the play, so third down and a long 8 coming up. Nick Foles headed to the sideline. He will chat with his offensive coordinator, trying to figure out exactly what play to call next, but he's got tons of time as he will check back in onto the field. 45 seconds, the clock moving here in the third quarter. Westlake down 16-14 from the Alamo Dome.
And what the Westlake Chaparrals want to do here is they want to pick up a first down, but they also want to take care of the ball because you don't want a turnover down here.
Etier split out wide to the left. Again, in the slot left is Schaefer. They roll the pocket to the near side. Foles looking, firing, has a man, and it's caught by Steven Schaefer, who is drilled immediately by Pat Sullivan. What a great grab by the senior tight end. First down Westlake at the 15-yard line.
Very good throw. Actually, the pass was a little bit behind number 10, Schaefer, but Nick Foles rolling to his left, avoiding some pressure, throws it out there to number 10, and Schaefer probably gets up thinking, where are the flags? That's the first catch he's made, I think, where there wasn't a flag, so big play by number 10.
He's happy that he didn't have to push off or whatever it is that he was doing in the first half. He grabs it, an excellent point right there, as Steven Schaefer, for the first time this half, gets an unflagged reception. First down at 10, backs off set, and again, another motion penalty, and that one's in the backfield. Yeah. Moving early was Brad Dornack.
Yeah, Dornack tried to start the motor a little early, and he leaned forward, and that's all it takes to get the yellow flag out. So it'll be first and 15 now.
Will be first down and 15. Important point. The Chaps can achieve a first down at the 5-yard line, so it'll be first down and 15. The ball will be backed up to the 20-yard line. So Red zone offense today successful both times inside the red zone. Westlake has been able to pick up the touchdown. And they trail 16-14 here in the third quarter. 5 seconds remaining. This will be the final play of the quarter, and it looks like Westlake will just go ahead and let the clock run out, and that is the case. So the third quarter comes to an end. Westlake unable to get on the board. A 52-yard touchdown run by Marcus Wright, the only highlight of the third quarter. And what was billed as a shootout here at high noon is anything but. We go to the fourth quarter. 4 fingers in the air for the Westlake faithful, and Westlake is down 16-14 against San Antonio Reagan. The Division I 5A Region 4 championship from the Alamo Dome continues in a moment.
It's the football finals in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome, Saturday, December 23rd. See the top teams in Texas in the UIL 5A state championships.
This fall, ESPN Game Plan has up to 150 extra college football games. Key matchups and rivalries from major conferences, all available when you order your exclusive ESPN Game Plan pay-per-view package. It's maximum college football. Order now.
From the
16-14, San Antonio Reagan leading by 2. They scored a touchdown, but missed the extra point in the third quarter. Back to pass out of the gun is Nick Foles. Here comes the pressure, fires to the end zone, leaping up and making the grab is Steven Schaefer.
And no flag.
Touchdown, Westlake.
That was a good throw, and Schaefer, you can tell, was being extra cautious to make sure he didn't do anything that could draw a flag. And number 10 comes down with it, and that's where his size advantage pays off because he just went up over the defender and brought the ball in.
Well, that time he got the separation he wanted to, so he didn't have to deal with the man on the coverage, Joe Warren, but that time the separation gave him the yards he needed to just jump up and make the catch. It's always been a timing issue with Schaefer. Again, in the first half, it burned him twice, and now Westlake, it looks like, going for 2 as Nick Foles checks in from the near sideline.
Nick Foles is over consulting with Derek Long, so they're going to go for a pair here.
And they come quickly to the line. They're going to try a quick snap, try to catch the Rattler defense. Now in motion out of the backfield is Max Miner under center. Rolling is Nick Foles. They have a man, and he's wide open in the end zone. And it's Jordan Etier for the 2-point conversion.
I'll tell you what, I could have thrown that one to him, and you know, it's one of those plays where Etier rolls out, and he is open from the get-go, and number 7 gets it to him.
5 seconds into the fourth quarter, and Westlake is on the board. A 20-yard catch by Steven Schaefer for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion catch made by Jordan Etier. It is now Westlake 22, Reagan 16. Back at 30 seconds, this is Westlake football.
It took 3 minutes, 23 seconds.
To run a successful business, you need to keep your customers happy, your employees productive, and your bottom line growing. Time Warner Cable Business Class can help. From dedicated high-speed access to cable TV, our communication solutions protect your critical data and provide real-time news and information.
Taking off number 9, Justin Tucker. Back to receive the kickoff, number 8, Grant Edlin. And number 21,
his crew are saying, we're gonna show you we can score on you. We're gonna show you we can score 2 points. Now you're gonna have to deal with that. I think it's more than just a 2-point conversion because they'd have to score a touchdown anyway if they scored the extra point. But they scored 2, and I think there's a message in there, a little psychology being played by the Westlake coaching crew.
I think there is too, as Justin Tucker lines one, and it'll be. And it actually took a sidewinder hop, and what a kick right there. As it hit at the 10 and it just hung a left. And unfortunately, it didn't look like Matt Smith could do anything about it, so it will be a touchback for Justin Tucker in an odd way. Let's go down to the sidelines to Rob Durkee. The atmosphere in a tight ball game, it's got to be rocking down on the sidelines, Rob.
Yeah, Joe, it is very rocking down here, and, you know, it is very loud, and the only time it's quiet down here is when there's a flag or if it's a guy hurt, and it's going to be loud the rest of this game, Joe.
I think so, too. In a tight game, again, you're up 6, and now the Rattlers taking over on their own 20-yard line. They've got to go the distance, and they have shown that they've had some trouble with field goal kicking and point after touchdowns here in the second half. So not only do they have to get in the end zone, but they have to be able to convert. Right on the handoff on first down, rumbles past the 25-yard line, brought down at the 27. A 7-yard pickup for Marcus Wright, who continues to roll. Unbelievable performance again, but only 1 touchdown, and that is huge for the Westlake defense.
Yeah, and on that play, the defense led by Jaron Guevara, and it looked like Ryan Swope making the tackle there, and Swope getting up a little gimpy on his left leg, but I think he's okay.
Guevara will be locked up with Matt Smith as he lines up in the slot right. 2 wide receivers each way. Again, they hand it off to Wright, and that time it looked like his own man, Wes Alvey, could not get out of his way. He's dropped just shy of the 30-yard line at the 29. So 3rd down and 1 coming up for Reagan, who are trailing by 6, 22-16 here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, David Dyer making the stop, and you like it when you see a defensive tackle making a stop on a running back like Wright. Hasn't happened much in this game, but it did on that play.
Blake Reed checks in with the play. The huddle breaks as Walls is flanked by Wright on his right as they move right to left here in the 4th quarter. The handoff to Wright. He's hit in the backfield, and he will not get the first down. He is hit at the 28, brought down at the 29, and a huge defensive stand right there by the Reagan Rattlers. Now it's decision time. You're only down 6, but you're on the wrong end of the field. But we've seen Marcus Wright able to convert 3rd down no problem this afternoon. Do you stay with it or do you kick it?
Yeah, they're thinking about it. Wright standing near the ball with his hands on his hips waiting for a call to come in, and it's coming in. It looks like they're going to go for it. And I'll tell you what, you're playing Russian roulette right here because you could let it slip away if they don't get this and Westlake goes in. So we'll see what happens. But they need about 1.5 yards for the first down. Will they try to draw them off or will they run it?
They stack it up, and for the first time, Walls will take a snap under center, and it looks like he may try to take it himself. A hard count, and yep, it doesn't work. The discipline is there for the Chaparrals, and Walls is forced to call a timeout.
We saw that early last week in the game in Victoria against Los Fresnos. Early in the game, probably near the same spot on the field where Los Fresnos was trying to, on a 4th down, draw them off, and it didn't happen. It didn't work here. Excellent discipline by the Westlake defense.
Well, it's 4th down. We'll break it for 30 seconds. Back in.
Reason number 5 to eat new hearts of gold at Outback. Our newest fresh fish needs a date tonight. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. Reason number 4 to eat new Tassie's buffalo chicken at Outback tonight. You've always wanted to scream wow in public. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
To award the ball to Westlake as he is shy of the first down. The Chaparrals take over 29 yards away from Pater.
Huge.
No doubt Perry Watson, our defensive play of the game.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, when you roll the dice down here, you got to live with the consequences. We don't know what's going to happen here, but if Westlake goes in here and they're down 2 scores, the Reagan Rattlers, that could be the ball game because they're going to have to come from behind farther back than they are now, which is 6 points. So, you know, I don't know what David Wetzel and his crew thought they could do, but when it doesn't work, you don't look too smart.
And we were walking down to the field, and again, this is synthetic turf. It's that Astro play, and it looked like on that end of the field, as he got the ball from his quarterback, Derek Walls, Marcus Wright slipped as he came out, almost like he was trying to do a little bit too much to gain 1 yard, and it cost him. Now Nick Foles under center with a receiver each way. Hager out of the backfield in motion, and the handoff goes to Max Minor. Minor spun down, and a beautiful job right there up front by, it looks like Hank Hornsby.
Yes.
Hornsby just came in there like a man possessed. A yard loss on the play, actually 2-yard loss, as the ball now back at the 31-yard line, and Max Minor was nearly driven into the ground.
Well, he was
like
almost
a tiller.
He was almost corkscrewed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Hank Hornsby from his end position grabbed him, and you know, actually there was nowhere for Minor to go. Nobody blocked Hornsby. That's how he got to the ball carrier so quickly.
2nd down and 12. The ball marked at the 31-yard line. Shotgun set for Nick Foles, flanked by Hager on his right. 2 wide receivers each way. Back to pass is Foles. Here comes the blitz. He steps up in the pocket, fires, and he completes the pass to Sheevan Schaefer. Shakes a tackle at the 10, or excuse me, at the 20-yard line, and falls down for the 18. And that's the 2nd time this half, Perry Watson, that Nick Foles has been all but sacked, and he's still able to deliver the ball cleanly and mistake-free.
Well, I tell you, I'm amazed that he can stay on his feet when he's being hit like that. And the tackle shake that he was shaking that you're talking about with Pat Sullivan, it was Ben Stonestreet from his linebacker spot coming over from the middle of the field to make the tackle. And on the play, Sullivan complaining to the officials that he's being grabbed, but no flags.
Inside 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Westlake up 22-16. 1st down and 10 inside the 18-yard line. Etier in motion from the near side to the far side. The handoff goes to Max Minor. He cuts it back the other way, redirects inside the 15 to the 10. 5! Touchdown, Max Minor! Ooh, and the dagger feels bad. Unbelievable job right there by Max Minor. He went left, got caught up behind the block of Ron Hager, redirected his field, and marched it in from 18 yards out. Touchdown, Chaparral.
I'll tell you what, as you said, that play was designed to go left. Probably over the left guard. Minor couldn't find anything. There was a log jam there, and I think his size helped him because he kind of hid behind the crowd, came out to the right side, and once I could see him to the right, Joe, you knew it was a foot race, and number 28 won it, no problem.
Now he's going to win that battle, especially when the defense is going left, and a busted play works as Minor splits out wide to the left. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion again. They roll it to the right, fire to the end zone, same play, different side of the field, and Jordan Etier is in the end zone once again. And with 8:41 to play in the ball game, after the defensive stand at the 29-yard line in Rattler territory, Westlake answers big.
How big is that?
Chaparral's 30, the Reagan Rattlers 16. Westlake football continues in a moment.
There's nothing to do. Where's the spam? Viruses. Mr. Spyware!
Get Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable for free, constantly updated security software.
Hey, spam! Music download. You got any cupcakes? So that's a no.
Call 485-6000 and get your first 6 months at $29.95 per month plus free installation.
Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Yeah, it's a Yahoo experience here at the Alamo Dome inside, and this place is rocking, at least on the Westlake side. A 3-play, 29-yard drive took a $1.10 off the clock, capped by an 18-yard touchdown run by Max Minor that wanted to go left, but he had to come back right to do it. After Bron Hager was stood up at the line of scrimmage, Max Minor just said, okay, I can't go left, turned on his blinker, headed right, and went into the end zone from 18 yards out. The 2-point conversion caught by Jordan Etier on back-to-back touchdown drives here in the fourth quarter, and it's now Westlake 30, Reagan 16 with 8:41 to go in the ball game, and how the tide of momentum has changed on that 4th down call by David Wetzel.
You know, as I said, when they got the first 2-point conversion, they were sending a message. Well, I think once they get this touchdown, now they get a second 2-point conversion. I think the Reagan Rattlers have to deal with not only the Westlake Chaparrals, now they got to fight the demons in their heads.
Well, now, and it looks like there might have been a penalty, obviously a penalty, because now Justin Tucker, and we missed it, it must have happened after the touchdown, and it must have been a frustration penalty because they called a dead ball personal foul, and that's exactly what happened, and they marched the ball inside the 50-yard line to the 45. So Justin Tucker will kick it off from the Rattler 45-yard line.
Yeah, this could go through the uprights.
And no doubt it will. It will sail about 12 yards out of the back of the end zone, and it was an unsportsmanlike conduct called on Reagan. So there we are, first down and 10 from the 20-yard line, and Reagan down 14 points. They'll have to get in the end zone twice with only 8:41 to work with here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Joe, they've got to deal with whatever mindset they put themselves in by going on that fourth down and not making it and giving the Westlake Chaparrals a shot at a touchdown at basically point-blank range at the 30-yard line, and they converted. Then they got the two-point conversion with the same play to each here that they ran before, only to the other side.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 20-yard line, and again, Derek Walls along with Marcus Wright, the sophomore and the junior respectively, trying to extend their 2006 playoff run, their first ever appearance, and the Rattlers can strike and strike quickly. So this game is far from over. Two wide receivers to the far side right, one here to the near side left. Out of the gun again, flanked by Wright. The handoff will go to Marcus. Marcus shaking a tackle at the 20, but he is unable to get out of the grasp of the Westlake defense, and he falls down for a brief gain of about half a yard. Second down and a long 10 coming up for the Westlake Chaparrals.
Well, Blake Reed again, we've called his name a lot. Number 64 is playing a breakout game in the playoffs, and he comes over briefly to get a word of encouragement from one of his coaches and trots back onto the field, but they made a good play there to stop Wright before he gets started, and that's the only way you can stop him.
Tash will line up here in the slot left, and they will run that very close, tight trips formation here to the near side. It may have jumped early, but Walls will keep it on the zone read, and he will fall down a swarm of tacklers, and that time the Reagan Rattlers did not fool a soul. Inside the 20-yard line, they actually lose 2 yards back to the 19. Blake Reed and everybody up front along with David Dyer, and it looks like Mark Daniel down there as well, or excuse me, Thomas Johnston down there as well, making the play up front for the defense.
Yeah, along with Cameron Nichols. So yeah, you're right. They didn't fool anybody there, and that play looked like it. The timing was off. They faked it to Wright, and the quarterback Walls kept it, but nothing working on that play.
So third down and a long 11. Two wide receivers to the far side right. They hand it off on the zone read. No, exactly, and firing downfield, and that one is picked off. Ryan Ambrose has picked it off at the 40-yard line, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's running towards the end zone, and he's into the end zone. Ryan Ambrose returns the interception. Unbelievable. Ryan Ambrose has turned this crowd on its heels as he runs it in off the interception. The zone read was faked, and it looked like Walls was going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. He fires the pass downfield, and Perry, it looked like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Ryan Ambrose comes up with a huge interception return for the touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, they started out with a fake of the ball, and then Walls rolls to his left and decides he's going to throw it, and he threw it over the middle. And when you throw it over the middle, you better be on target, because if you've got a smart safety like Ryan Ambrose, he can come up with it. He did, pulled it in, ran it back for the touchdown, and this game right now is slipping away from the Reagan Rattlers.
And they are shell-shocked at the turn of events here. Ryan Ambrose getting into the end zone easily, the biggest play of his senior season. And on that point, Ryan Ambrose, again, the 147-pound junior, coming into this ball game had 4 interceptions. That is his 5th one. And Ryan Ambrose picks it off after Tash fell down. And that one you can kind of tell, Perry, that the pass had to be tipped. And as the trajectory of the ball was basically altered, and Ryan Ambrose was able to run under it like a center fielder, and it was off to the races. Nobody in front of Ryan Ambrose. He raises the pigskin in celebration, outrunning the offense of Reagan on the interception. A pick 6 for little Ryan Ambrose, and out of the timeout called by Reagan, Justin Tucker is on for the extra point.
Well, we've got 7:11 left in the fourth quarter, and the Westlake Chaparrals, after being unable to score in the third quarter, have thrown up points now in groups.
Snap is down, it's low, but Etier is able to handle it, and it's through the uprights for Justin Tucker. So with 7:11 remaining in the ballgame, a pick 6 by Ryan Ambrose has this game all but in hand for the Chaparrals. With 7:11 remaining in the fourth quarter, it's Westlake 37, San Antonio Reagan 16. Back in a moment, this is Westlake football.
Hi, I'm Bobby Jenkins with ABC Pest and Lawn Services, introducing you to the newest feature of our Total Lawn Care service, the ABC Power Composting Program. With this program, we top dress your lawn with rich organic compost. Our blower allows us to apply an even layer of compost to your lawn to provide needed nutrients to the soil and aid in water retention for your lawn. Our complete care program features top dressing, aeration, fertilization, disease, weed, and insect control. Call 837-9500 today and let ABC get your lawn off to a great start.
Call ABC Pest and Lawn.
Well, we're having fun in the Alamo Dome, live from San Antonio, Texas. Joe Taylor alongside Perry Watson, Rob Durkee in a moment after the ensuing kickoff. A pick six for Ryan Ambrose as he picks off Derek Walls, who faked the zone read, dropped back to pass. The pass was tipped at the line. Not too sure who got his paw on it, but nonetheless, the trajectory of the ball was changed, and Ryan Ambrose ran under it, caught it like a center fielder, and was off to the races from 45 yards out. And Ryan Ambrose has his team well in hand to move on to the state semifinal game. The ensuing kickoff is driven 8 yards deep. Taking a knee is the receiver, and it was, I believe, Edlund.
Yes.
And for the touchback, let's go down to the sideline. And now Rob Durkee, about 5 minutes ago, it was loud, but it got even louder when Ryan Ambrose picked that ball off.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. As he picked it off, everybody jumped up yelling, and those lead blocking was imperative for him to make it in the touchdown. When he got in there, he raised his hand with the ball, and just crowd went crazy.
Indeed.
Oh, imperative. I like it, Rob.
I do too. 23 unanswered points in the fourth quarter by the Westlake Chaparrals. Better late than never. Trips to the far side right for Walls. He fires downfield and has a man. It's Tash. It's caught at the 32-yard line. He advances it out to the 35 before Brad Ballou wrestles him down to the 36-yard line. A nice catch right there by Tash as it was above him. He had to elevate to make the grab.
It really was a good catch by number 11. He caught that ball with all hands. It was a high pass from Walls, but he went up and got it and tried to get a little more as he crossed the middle, but Brad Ballou wouldn't let him.
A 16-yard pickup, and the ball advances out to the 36-yard line, breaking the huddle. Operating now with under 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter here for the Alamo Dome are the Reagan Rattlers here in the 5A Division I Region 4 Championship. Spread offense look, 2 wide receivers each way, and on the delay handoff, absolutely drilling Marcus Wright is Blake flipping Reed. Unbelievable job right there by Reed, and that might be the cleanest hit Marcus Wright has ever felt this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 64 probably has worked for an oil rig because he drilled him on that one, Joe. You had it right. Number 64 in his chest, bending him backwards, and you don't see many clear shots on number 21, but Blake Reed got one that time.
Yeah, Bill Orr needs a roughneck. Blake Reed, you're the man.
There you go.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10 from the 36-yard line. They option right and toss it to Wright. He's across the 40 to the 45, down the right sideline into Westlake territory, and just like that, Wright answers the tackle by Blake Reed with a spurt into Westlake territory, and that man, I tell you what, rumble, young man, rumble, and I will be happy as a camper if I get to see Marcus Wright play for Reagan next year. He is a junior, and these two teams match up. It's going to be fun to watch.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 21, he's a fast runner, he's quick, but he's smart because he'll slow down to let his blocking materialize, and he'll speed up when he needs to, and you can see it was Sayers running him out of bounds along with Brad Ballou.
A 23-yard pickup, 2 wide receivers here to the near side right as Reagan continues. They option right. The pitch to Wright is to the 40, down to the 35-yard line, and he shoots forward for about a 7-yard gain. Stopped by Ryan Swope just inside the Westlake 35-yard line. And it will be second down and a long 3 coming up for the Reagan Rattlers. Again, inside 6 minutes to play, 5:47, clock moving, and there is still quite a ground to be made up. It is 37-16, Westlake on top here in the fourth quarter. Now in motion is Rochelio from the far side to the near side. And they option right again, but now stopping and firing, and that one is incomplete, high and going up for the Westlake defense was Brad Ballou, and he caught every bit of the shoulder pad there by Steve Wallace. And again, may have got the air knocked out of him just a little bit as Ryan Ambrose pats his fellow defensive back on the side there, as Brad Ballou may have been shaken up just a little bit. Victor Kronberg checking into the ball game now.
Yeah, the Reagan faithful booing the replay, but Ballou got there just as the ball was reaching the intended receiver, and it went over both of them, and might not have been catchable, but there was no flag on the play.
5:26, clock will move on the snap. 37-16, it's a 3rd down and 5 situation here for the Reagan Rattlers. This is their season. The handoff goes to Wright. Wright at the 35, cuts it back, and the ball's come loose. David Dyer pouncing on it, and David Dyer has collected the football. And will it be Chaparral football? I believe it will be. Will they say that Marcus Wright is down, or will the fumble be awarded to David Dyer?
I'll tell you what, it looked like a fumble. They didn't look like they were marking it. Now they're marking the ball down.
Now on the replay, we saw Marcus Wright, and it could have gone either way. And we can see on the replay here, Wright moving right, cuts it back inside the 35, falls down.
Ball's down
and
before his knee goes down.
Right, and on the hit, the ball is jarred loose, and Dyer recovers the fumble, but it looks like they're going to keep the ball and award it to the Rattlers. And now an important 4th down play as Blake Reed checks in. And Victor Kronberg sprinting to the near sideline. This is 4th down and 1, 5:02 remaining. And this is to keep the football and keep driving and keep your hopes alive for the Reagan Rattlers.
Well, you got 2 playmakers on this team, 6 and 21. They're both in the backfield.
Shotgun set, and the handoff will go to 21, and he is rumbling inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. 1st down yardage and more, and one has to think back to that 4th down and 1 play from the Rattler 29-yard line early in the 4th quarter that turned the ball back over to Westlake and allowed them to double up the score on the Rattlers. That time, very easy on 4th and 1, and it was just a simple dive play to the right side for Marcus Wright. He tried to get a little fancy on that play early on in this quarter, and he fell down in the backfield, which unfortunately turned the ball over for Westlake if you're a Rattler fan. So it's interesting to see how easy this game is when everything isn't on the line at that particular time.
Yeah, right now the ball's on the 25-yard line, and the Reagan Rattlers are calling a timeout.
So we will take it with them with 4:22 remaining in the ball game here from the Alamo Dome. It's Westlake 37, Reagan 16. The Division I 5A Region 4 Championship continues from San Antonio in just a moment. This is Westlake football.
Oh, hey, honey. How was your day?
Oh, long.
With Time Warner Cable, you can get more than a lot of channels.
The remote!
Don't hog the remote.
You can get Roadrunner high-speed online.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic.
That's exactly why.
Plus unlimited calling.
What?
All on one bill, all with one call. Word will get around.
Honey, what's happening here?
They're kids. They're watching TV.
We don't have kids.
Get a bundle and save a bunch. Call Time Warner Cable today to start saving.
First down and 10 for the Rattlers from the 25-yard line. Back to passes Marcus Wright, and the halfback pass is incomplete. Intended downfield for Tash. Step for step with him was Ryan Swope.
What we saw on that play, why Marcus Wright runs the ball and doesn't pass it, because that one didn't get very far, and it was probably 6 or 8 yards from the intended receiver, Tash, who was running down the far side. So, and he showed pass right away. He might have been able to run it if he doesn't see that he can get the ball there, and he didn't come close to completing that one.
Second down and 10 from the 25-yard line. In Westlake territory, Reagan just trying to get something happening here in the 4th quarter. Shotgun set, 2 wide receivers here to the near side left. And the handoff again will go to Wright. Wright across the 25, and he's dropped for a short gain. Cameron Nichols on the attack. About a 2-yard spurt across the 26 and down towards, or excuse me, the 29 and down to about the 28-yard line as Victor Kronberg checks in for Thomas Johnston.
And you could see Wright going to his left that time, and as he crossed the line of scrimmage, he was wearing number 46, and that was Nichols who rode him down at that point. The ball's at about the 23-yard line.
So third down and a long 8 Out of the gun, now Rochelio in motion from the far side to the near side. Back to pass. Firing towards the end zone is Walls, and it is just out of the reach, and another flag has come in. And Tash fell down, and he may be injured, but there's some contact there down around the goal line, and a flag comes in. Ryan Swope on the coverage, and they may pop him for pass interference.
I think they will, but I'm wondering about this call. I'm checking it out on the replay, and that pass was not catchable, I don't think, and the flag came in late. Both players already gone down when the flag comes down, but they're going to call pass interference on this play.
Well, there's no quota in high school football, but we've seen our share of flags this afternoon, and again another replay as it is pass interference, so it will be a 15-yard penalty, and now it'll just give Reagan what would amount to a token touchdown. But this game has been dominated. 23 unanswered points in the fourth quarter by the Westlake Chaparrals. They get it done twice through the air, or excuse me, once through the air, once on the ground with Max Miner, and again Ryan Ambrose's pick 6 on the interception. So 23 unanswered points here, both touchdowns. Again, the pass and the run by Max Miner, capped with 2-point conversions to get the score to this point.
Well, and that penalty moves the ball inside the 10 at the Westlake 8. 3:36 left in the fourth quarter.
That's not a bad way to get first down and goal. So it'll move inside the 8-yard line, first and goal, 37-16. This game pretty much decided, but Reagan trying to get on the board, capitalizing on a pass interference call on Ryan Swope in the end zone. They roll the pocket, fake the pass, and give it to Wright. Right at the 5, and he's brought down from behind. Victor Kronberg on the pursuit there, and he chased him down from behind.
Yeah, they've seen that play before where Walls attempts, he acts like he's going to throw it to the left and then hands it off to Wright, who goes right, and Kronberg made sure he didn't get beyond the 5-yard line.
Justin Tucker checks out. Ryan Swope back into the ball game, and again, the rotation continues in the defensive backfield and in the linebacker units. 2 wide receivers, Rochelio, along with Tash here to the near side left. Rochelio will go in motion from the slot left to the slot right. Back to pass and looking towards the end zone, firing, and it is caught, juggled, and it is a touchdown for the Reagan Rattlers. So they get on the board, and Tash looked like he had the ball in his hands, but he was juggling it, and he's able to come down in control in the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Reagan Rattlers, the first one here in the fourth quarter. And again, Westlake has done the job. Only 1 touchdown in the third quarter, and now 1 here in the fourth quarter, and they've done a great job basically containing Marcus Wright. And that's exactly what you have to do against this ball club. He had 353 yards rushing last week, and he has been held in check. He's still well over the 250-yard mark, but still, it's been impressive. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 2:57 remaining in the ball game, Westlake will get the ball back as the touchdown puts the Reagan Rattlers on the board for the first time here in the fourth quarter. It is 37-23, Westlake leading Reagan. The Division I 5A Region 4 championship continues in a moment. This is Westlake football.
Over here.
Curbside takeaway. Just one more thing to love about Outback. Just call up, pull up, and we'll bring it right to your car so you can enjoy the great taste of Outback anywhere. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Taking off number 8, Grant Edlund. And deep for Westlake, number 28, Max Miner.
The Region 3 championship here in Division I 5A between Cy-Fair and Pearland. It is midway through the second quarter. And the onside kick coming here will get you that score in just a moment as Edlund lines up for the onside kick. Here it comes. It goes 5 yards, 10 yards, bounces up, and who recovers it?
Looks like the Chaps have it.
Looks like Westlake has it. Their hands team coming up huge there, but that was an excellent onside kick, but it does not work out as the Westlake Chaparrals will take over here with 2:55 remaining in the ball game.
Looks like Andy Spears came up with it.
Spears coming out of there, and he got hit and hit hard.
Yeah,
so
did.
props for Spears there as he is able to come out of that uninjured, because that was a load of Rattlers coming his way. The ball will be marked down at the 44-yard line in Westlake territory. So good field position, but no doubt you're going to see the rushing attack here. Again, Cy-Fair and Pearland playing in the Region 3 championship game. The state semifinal will be played between Westlake and the winner of that ball game. And right now, Cy-Fair up 6-0. And here's the handoff to Bron Hager. Hager across the 45-yard line, up to the 50, lowers his shoulder and into Rattler territory and picks up 9 yards in the process.
Good run by Bron Hager. Looked like he was going to probably be stopped after a gain of about 5 yards, but he did put his head and shoulders down and just kept charging forward. Ran through a tackle, looked like from Ben Stone Street, the linebacker, and it was Joe Stein who finally helped get him down.
In the greater Houston area, again, Rice Stadium playing host to Cy-Fair and Pearland. If Pearland is victorious, it's already been decided. Westlake and Pearland will play here for the state semifinal at the Alamo Dome next Saturday. But Cy-Fair wins the ball game. There's talk of Kyle Field, but it's not set in stone. But again, right now, Cy-Fair up on Pearland 6-0 in the second quarter. The handoff will go to Max Miner to the near side, across the 45, picks up a block, across the 40 to the 35, stutter steps, and he steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A nice pickup right there by Max Miner. And right now, Perry, you can see it. The body language says it all. Even though their team just went in, their offense went into the end zone, Stone Street and company along the Rattler defense just unable to stop the Chaparral rushing attack.
Well, and the reason you see the negative body language is because they were unable to get a stop here, and Westlake's knocking at the door again. The ball is at the 30-yard line of the Reagan Rattlers, and on that play, Max Miner did a good job of busting outside. Tell you what, his quickness has returned. Number 28 turned the corner and got downfield in good shape, was pushed out of bounds, but picked up good yardage.
Well, Bron Hager got all the press in game 1 and game 2. In the bi-district round, he had 4 touchdown runs. In the area round, he had 3. Nick Foles took over last week against Los Fresnos, and now Bron Hager running on the left side, and he's tripped by Hornsby and literally takes to the air after he trips over Hornsby. He falls forward, no doubt, for a 4-yard pickup out to the 20, right around the 26-yard line. So it will be second down and a long 6 coming up.
And Joe, actually, Hornsby was being blocked by Miner, and it was Miner's left leg that tripped Bron Hager. As Hager went by, and you could see Miner was engaged in a block with Hornsby, and that's what Bron Hager tripped over, Max Miner's left leg.
So Hager will come out in favor of Jordan Etier. Check that, it'll be Brad Dornack lining up in the backfield. Offset eye to the right, the handoff goes to Max Miner, sheds a tackler inside the 20-yard line, and he picks up a first down inside the 20 in the red zone, down to the 16-yard line.
Good run by Miner again. On that play, Hank Hornsby, the end. Hornsby makes the tackle along with the weak side linebacker, Dexter Oney, but a good run by number 28.
And in this drive alone here, Max Miner has busted off a 17-yard run on second down and 2 from the 47. That time he gets away for 9 yards. A first down pickup. It is 37-23 here in the fourth quarter with 1 minute remaining for the state semifinal appearance for the Westlake Chaparrals.
Take the hammer out, get the nails, and start closing the coffin.
And now Nick Foles really only has to go to a knee as the Rattlers have 1 timeout left. No doubt they will try to use it. 45 seconds remaining in the ball game.
And Joe, this is going to be talked about. You know this. That fourth down play where you're deep in your own territory and you do not get the fourth down, and you're only 1 score down at the time. You can't afford to not make that. But on the other hand, you can't afford to make that call either. They tried to draw him offside on fourth down. The Chaparral defense didn't bite, so then they try for the fourth down, and Wright goes down before he can get to the first down marker.
All Foles has to do is kneel it down. He will. The chants of Westlake erupt from the crowd. 12 seconds remaining. The offense leaving the field with a spring in their step. The Rattlers lethargic, and they don't want to leave the field here at the Alamo Dome. 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left.
It's over.
And it is over. The beards grow another week for the Westlake Chaparrals as they march on to the state semifinal, no doubt against the winner of the Cy-Fair Pearland Region 3 Championship here in 5A Division I. And the road to the Dome goes through the Dome twice. And if Pearland is able to extend their undefeated record, it will be against Pearland next Saturday. But if Cy-Fair who is up 6-0 on Pearland right now in the second quarter out in Houston at Rice Stadium. No doubt will probably be at Kyle Field, maybe here. The jury's still out on whether or not Cy-Fair wins.
Well, you talk about being undefeated, and right now Westlake is sporting an undefeated record against San Antonio schools. They beat Churchill in the first game, they beat Jay, and now they knock off the Reagan Rattlers.
The road through Region 4 is an impressive one, and David Wetzel is meeting the onslaught of news and television reporters. No doubt asking him about that 4th down and 1 play deep in his own territory, and that has been the difference maker. It really ignited the Chaparral offense and gave them the opportunity. They seized control of it, and in the 4th quarter, outside of one motion penalty down inside the red zone, Westlake plays a penalty-free 4th quarter.
And Derek Long at the end of the first half said we've got to do something about the mistakes we're making that we made in the first half. Obviously, they made the changes, and those changes worked and got them to another win.
And now the entire team as they go through the victory march here, and I tell you what, an unbelievable roster size. How many guys are on the field for the Reagan Rattlers?
It's the biggest team I've seen, I think, all season long against Westlake. It looked like they got a small battalion over there.
Unbelievable. And Westlake carrying about 63 guys in the regular season, but there's at least 70 to 80 football players on the sideline for the San Antonio Rattlers.
A lot of fangs over there.
And the last time these two, again, when you think about what David Wetzel and his ball club has been able to do, you go through arguably the toughest district in Region 4 with the likes of legendary and tradition-laden programs like Converse Judson, Smithson Valley, the perennial state power, who is supposed to be in this ball game this year, or in this ball game in Division II. They get knocked off early in the Division II round. But you think about where the Rattlers should have been. They knock off Judson in the final game of this district season, and to basically oust the Rockets from that 4th spot in the playoffs. They take over, and normally, you know, okay, you won, and that's great. Reagan, you've never been to the playoffs before. It's a great story. But then they go on a march that's just unbelievable. They win 7 straight games in the row, dating back to stay-ranked Smithson Valley, their 14-10 win over them, then the 23-7 win over Converse Judson. They surprise the #1 seed in Division I, Seguin, 34-27 to oust the Matadors, and then the quadruple overtime win against San Antonio O'Connor, 49-47, and then the juggernaut offensive anomaly, if you will, 72 points as they win over Laredo United here at the Alamo Dome last week. This week, a far cry. They score 7 points in the first quarter, 3 in the second quarter, 6 in the third quarter, and 7 in the fourth quarter. An incredible job by the Westlake defense as they were matched up against Marcus Wright, and Marcus Wright got his yards. He only sniffed the end zone one time.
That's right, and that was the key because he got a lot of yards, but when you get them between the goal lines, they don't mean as much. Now, the other thing is that, you know, this Reagan Rattler team scored 72 points last week. And you got to wonder, when you put up that many points and you got a guy like Marcus Wright who scores 8 touchdowns, would have been 10 if he hadn't had 2 called back. What are you thinking about when you come into a game? Are you thinking you're just unbeatable? Maybe. And that 72 points, obviously an aberration. They haven't scored that many points all season long. They've gotten to the 40s, but they throw up 42 points and a half and then end up with 72. So you got to wonder what their mindset was coming into this game. The Westlake Chaparrals, on the other hand, just played steady football, overcame penalties, a lot of penalties that could have probably demoralized a lot of teams. They stayed focused and were able to come out of this one with a win.
Well, the athletic secretary and coordinator and all-around team mom, Leisha Schlimgen, hugging all of her special students down there. Again, Max Miner gets a hug, Stephen Schaefer gets a hug. The Westlake alma mater is complete. And the final score from the Alamo Dome here in the Region 4 championship game in Division I 5A. Westlake taking care of business, scoring 23 points in the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns on the offense, 1 a pick 6 by Ryan Ambrose as he returns an interception for the touchdown. And the final score here again from the Alamo City. Westlake 37, Reagan 23 as they move on to the state semifinal matchup, and they are the first team in as South Lake Carroll plays later on today, and also going on right now the Region 3 championship, but the Region 4 championship is wrapped up, and Westlake has come out of Region 4 yet again. Mirror image of Coach Long's first season as the head coach for the Westlake Chaparrals in 2003. They went 6-4 on the regular season, dropped 2 district games, but put on an impressive show all the way here to the state semifinal game. They were in the Region 4 championship, but they lose in the state semifinal that year. But now it is a completely different team, a completely different time, and this special group of young men continue their quest for the state title.
And it is a special group, Joe, because we've talked about it all season long, how these guys have had injuries, and they've had guys go down, and they've been able to regroup every time.
Now let's go down to the sidelines, and a very happy head coach Derek Long is with our own Rob Durkee.
Thanks, Joe. I'm down here with Coach Long, and he is chatting with somebody at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's congratulating. Now he's joined you. There he is.
Coach,
he's ready for you.
A very great game this weekend, and you know, the defense dominated the second half, put in players in every hole. What do you think? How do you feel they did this game?
Well, I think we did real well, and I'm real pleased with the way we responded to the second half. You know, like you said, I think we had too many penalties the first half. Did we do better the second half?
I believe we did.
You know, so we cut down the penalties, and we ended up with more points than they had. So that means that we get to play next week, and that's what we want to do. You know, great job, great effort by these young men, offensively, defensively, specialty teams. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. We get to keep having fun.
Yes, sir, and a very great game, and good luck next week, Coach.
Thank you, Rob. Maybe we'll be back here.
I think we are.
Yeah, let's hope so. Rob Durkee down on the sidelines. Thank you very much. Again, here's the deal, Rob. We either come back to the Alamo Dome to take on Pearland, and no one knows where we're going if the Westlake Chaparrals manage to take on Cy-Fair. Now, a pretty good Central Texas matchup coming up. You know, San Marcos lost in their Division II 5A region championship last night at Bobcat Stadium, 50-43 to San Antonio MacArthur. So there is a San Antonio representative in Division II, but now the Region 4 championship in the 4A ranks with the Rebels of Hayes. They dropped down to 4A, and after an amazing game last week, where they went 98 yards in about 36 seconds. There were 2 seconds.